Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. I'm your host, Tom Kelly. With me, as always, my band of compadres, Joe Marks.
Technology sucks this morning.
Does James Scorza.
We're doing live. Greetings and salutations, everybody.
Dave Yarnold.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Oh, man. Damon Salim is en route. Should be here shortly.
Gee, what a surprise.
We taking bets? Anybody taking bets?
No,
for
you
Damon?
already got a text. You got the inside track.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like he's not in a DeLorean where he can punch a button and show up someplace. I'm going to say
908.
907. I was going to say
I'll say 907, 908, 909, 909.
909. James.
905.
All right, Damon. If you're listening out there, there's a cool George Washington in it for you. If you come in here at 907.
909.
All right. So it's been a while since I've been in studio. You boys have been holding it down. People are like, "Are you still on that show?" I'm like, "Yeah, just by working. It's crazy."
It's been a while since I've been here too.
but we're back in the house. Frank's working today. Hopefully he can be in next week and we can get everybody in studio and kind of get rolling.
Yeah, but Dave, I'm just like the Cowboys. No one cares.
Joey.
Whoa.
Love you too. Good morning to you too, Joey.
Good morning. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I was on call last couple of weeks. So the boys are, they do their thing. They hold it down great. But I want to jump right into what is going on with the basketball team in this city. Wanted to start with the Sixers. I will get into some fills because I haven't been in studio since before the World Series. And I don't think we've talked fills because like last Saturday's show, right, was the
it was before the World Series.
Right,
yeah.
right. So we'll get a chance to kind of get into a season wrap up with the fills. Definitely do some birds looking to the Commanders game on Monday night. Joe, is it time for Doc to go now?
Yeah, Joe.
Is it time for Doc to head up the river?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
He's throwing Doc up the hill.
The doc is done. I mean, listen, you can throw all the hashtags you want. The doc is done.
The Doc is done.
Wow. I'm watching this team. To me, there's something not right. There's something missing. Doesn't have the same feel, doesn't have the same vibe. I think, a 5-7 record out of the game, nobody anticipated it starting this slow. Nope, I don't think.
Look, no star, especially Joel Embiid, and I get he meant it in jest, but no star at the end of a game in a press conference to say, well, the season starts now. The Phillies are done. The season Don't say that shit.
No,
Don't say that garbage.
That's not your place.
No.
He's cursing early this morning.
Yeah. So what are you salty because the Phils got all the love? Well, you know what? They put the work in,
Right,
and got past the second round of their respective playoffs.
Wow.
Go figure.
Absolutely.
After 11 years.
Hey, look, and Bryce Harper played injured.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I realize there's not a DH position per se on a basketball court, but that comment to me sounds like somebody who's salty.
It sounds like
Yes.
someone to me who came into the season soft. Actually, it sounds like someone who's like took for granted what they did.
Grab these headsets,
prior
Dave, if you can't hear Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. Dave, yeah, try that headset.
The prior accomplishments. Someone that was like, oh well, I'm going to rest on my resume. Okay, guess what? You haven't done anything yet.
Look, that I wouldn't go that, in my opinion. I wouldn't go that he hasn't done anything, but you haven't done enough.
Right, but my point is, has he done stuff individually? Sure. He should have been a 2-time MVP, and I've come on record saying that plenty of times.
Pat Bernard checking in. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, fellas. Hey, going up the river is easier than going up the Hershey highways, and you're banned from the show again. Excellent job, Pat Bernard.
Hey,
Pat, you're out of control.
But so, the idea that he, hasn't won a championship, they haven't gone past the second round, they haven't done certain things that sustainably, and look, we've all kind of harkened back to when this team last had success before the process, and that was Allen Iverson, and he seemingly did a one-man wrecking crew. And I brought this up before. This team has far more talent than that team. And that's not knocking AI. That's just saying there's more spread out talent. But yet they're minimizing their own success. Now, don't get me wrong. back then in AI, the West was like the most dominant conference, and the East was kind of
Right.
the least of
Right.
the
Yeah.
East.
I agree with that.
Now we're now the East is the beast, and we are just trying to figure out how to survive. I feel like if they keep taking this mentality throughout the season, this may not. I mean, I've said I'd be surprised if they get the 7 or 8 seed. I'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah. Right now they're sitting. I mean, look, it's very early in the season. You're
I
only
get
12
that.
games
I
in,
get. I
but
get.
they're sitting at 12th. They're
Mhm.
behind the Nets. I mean, they're tied. They have the same record, but
You can say what you want. They could go on a. They can go on a tear.
Right.
I've heard it all.
Mhm.
But
show me.
right. So it's like, okay, you can go on a tear. Now they have 5 straight home games. Can they win all 5? Because that's the kind of tear we're talking about.
You're gonna need to catapult up 5-6 spots in a 6 or 7 game span.
You go from 5-7 to 12-7 in like a matter of a week and a
Or
half.
12-8. You know what I
Right,
mean? Or
right,
something,
right.
something to that effect.
Right.
Okay, now we're talking.
Right.
But
I haven't
that
seen
that now the season starts because the Phillies are over kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I did not like that comment whatsoever.
No.
Well, they have the Hawks again tonight, the guys. They have the Hawks again tonight.
Yeah,
So, no.
and
The Hawks, man.
They own us. They
Jesus,
own
the-
us. What is up with the Hawks?
The
Well-
Hawks are like are like the Florida Marlins.
They're the Sixers kryptonite. That's what they
Yeah.
are exactly.
well, keep in mind the Hawks also got stronger in the offseason. So
true, they did.
they did get I think it's Murray from the Spurs,
Mm.
and he's a quality guy.
Mhm.
And so when you add more firepower to a quality team, you do better
right. Yeah,
typically.
that's true.
But
This
when
team
you
doesn't play defense, Joey. They don't play defense. They just don't.
don't get me started
I'm
with
just saying this.
the
team-
defense, the transition, you can go down the line.
Should have never got rid of Ben Simmons.
Actually, hey,
I just
don't do
I
that.
when I
Don't
said
do
that,
that.
when I said that I was staring right at Joey's face.
at
I
least-
just wanted
hey,
to see the face I
hey,
was.
Joey, it's good to see Ben on the court, though. I mean, seriously, it's pretty good. I was watching the other night.
Are we gonna do this?
Way to
No,
go.
no,
Where's
no.
where's your Simmons update out there?
He's been playing well. Actually, he played well the other night. I watched him, but I'm just saying, no, this Sixers team is not playing defense at all, Joey.
And
They
then
really-
you
they're
could
not.
go down the line from creating turnovers to transition defense
Mhm.
to half court defense
Right.
to points off of points off of turnovers.
Mhm.
You could go down the line when it comes down to those defensive stats, those defensive headlines.
Mhm.
They suck at every one of them, and
There's-
that's not good
But
enough.
Joey, there's no energy to this team. There's no energy. at
No,
all.
there-
it's
I'll be
not.
honest,
They're dragging up the
I
court.
know. What's this deal?
I'm gonna even take it one step. There's no urgency.
Yeah, that too.
Because within
exactly right.
energy comes urgency. You actually feel like every game matters.
Mhm.
They are not treated, and that's why I don't like that statement, because
Damn
it made
it.
it seem like every game prior didn't matter,
No,
and that's BS in my mind.
I agree.
You shouldn't say
that
it if you're the
really
leader.
sticks in my crawl.
Yeah.
Joe,
If you're gonna say that in the locker room when there's no cameras on, no mic, that's fine.
Mhm.
But don't say it.
If you want to say it in jest,
Right.
joking around when you're 10-3,
Yes.
that's different too.
yes.
Right.
Don't-
Absolutely.
or whatever 12.
Right.
Don't say that. I don't want to hear that when you're struggling,
Look,
and it's you're paying attention to us now.
Jalen Hurts can say that.
Yeah, I mean,
He's 8-0, but he could definitely say, well, now we have to step it up
Jalen
a
Hurts,
notch.
see, that's the thing. Jalen Hurts wouldn't say that.
Right.
Everything that comes out of that young man's mouth is completely calculated. He knows what
Mhm.
he's saying,
and
and
just like zoned in.
we'll get into
Yes.
Hurts and
But-
all that
no,
stuff.
I'm watching the game the other
Can't
night,
wait.
and I'm looking at Doc on the sidelines. Like he feels like he's falling asleep.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, what is your deal? I mean, you're not coaching the
I-
team. You're not telling them where to go.
He
what's going
doesn't like coaching young players.
What is it up? I can see that.
So-
and that
Crazy.
drives me nuts.
I don't get it.
I am going to go and make.
Hold on one second. Most coaches that I've seen love coaching young players.
yeah, I mean,
because you can mold them
Yep.
in the likeness in
Right.
which you want.
Mhm.
And he just likes coaching that. It drives me nuts.
I
Sorry,
made a
Joey.
comparison last week, and I'll let you talk, James.
Yeah,
I made a
that's fine.
comparison last week
Mhm.
of Doc Rivers being the Joe Girardi and Sam Cassell being the Rob Thompson. And we need to get rid of.
9/11, we were all wrong.
Damn it.
bummer. I lost. I was 2
Yeah.
minutes down.
The money in the kitty
Quarterback.
carries over to the next week.
Yes.
Pretty soon we'll have enough to buy a Volvo.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Or at least another light
Dane
for.
and Celine.
Bummer.
Good morning, Dane.
But this is the thing. I feel like
2
Doc.
minutes off, Dame.
I
Bummer.
think Doc is the Joe Girardi, and I feel this way for all the reasons you guys discussed about not letting young players play. What was Joe Girardi's thing? He wasn't going to let the young players play. Doc's doing the same thing. And Sam Cassell has been in Maxey's ear, has been in Thibault's ear, has been in Middleton's ear, Milton's ear. He's been in every young player's ear since he's gotten here. He's the guy that I feel like if he takes the helm, you're going to see the same turnaround in the Sixers that you saw in the Phillies. That's just my theory. Like, you make that change, and you're going to see a mental change because they're going to lean on these youngsters.
I'm gonna kick this. I'm gonna kick the question. The first question out of the gate that I asked him. I wanted to start with the 76ers today because
Your team, baby.
all right. So, is it time for Doc to go, Dame?
I heard the grunt. Dame,
I've heard your calls in. I've heard your calls into our friend the Cuz. I've heard some of your takes on this, but
Dave, you're calling the Cuz? You still calling the Cuz?
Of course he is.
Okay.
Joe Marks put a really, really, really awesome call into Gargano. He had me tearing up, you mother effer.
Yeah, Joe did. Frank calls as well.
Frank calls as well too. But so Dame, it's a young season. You're 12 games in. You're sitting at 5-7.
Mhm.
Joey, I'm going to touch on two things here, and I want to get your opinion on. Joey made mention that Embiid said, "Well, now that the Philly season's over, our season starts." That rubs me the wrong way.
Mhm.
And then two, is Doc Rivers just in over his head and time to go? Is it too early yet? I mean, how early?
Sure.
What are your thoughts?
Good questions. So the Embiid thing, I read that, but I'm not going to read too much into that.
Okay.
I think that was more of like the attention's now on us type thing. I don't think he. And I want to talk about him a little later because this Philly fan base isn't as smart as people to say they are. They're really not.
Mhm.
Man, too many people talking about move this guy. I've been through that twice in my
Move what guy?
Embiid. I'm hearing that.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear that too. That drives me nuts.
And it's like, dude, I went through it with Barkley. And they didn't give him any pieces. I went through it with Iverson.
Yep.
Almost with Dr. J, but the mayor stepped in to stop that. But I mean, Doc was on the downside of his career at that point. But I digress. It's time for him to go. So I do 20 games. I assess after 20 games.
So we're getting close to
We're
your
12
barometer.
We're 12 in.
Yeah, 12 in. Yeah. Wait, 5-7?
Yeah.
Yes.
5 and
5
7.
and 7.
Yeah. So losing Harden's a big deal, but they shouldn't have lost to the Hawks. They shouldn't lose certain games. I'm confused now with him. And I've been a supporter. I'm never one to, first of all, I don't want a person to lose their job. It's hard out here. I don't care how much money you make, right? It's hard. So I liked him. I liked when he came over. I know a few people close to me never liked it, still don't like it. Now it's giving them more reign to say it's time for him to go. So I say to people, when you say that, that means your team is losing. I also look at the fact that when LeBron James first came to Miami, they were barely 500 in January. They were literally barely 500. So I'm looking at that going, okay, is it a chemistry thing? Or is he trying to work it out?
My next question.
I don't. At one time, I thought he had a fix. I don't know if the Harden thing kind of derailed some things. I think they are putting a lot on Maxey. You can see him forcing it. I still say I wish Daryl Morey would have gotten a legitimate backup point guard for this team. But I still haven't answered your question. Is it time for him to go? I'll know after 20 games.
All right,
After
that's
20,
fair.
That's fair.
I've heard you've said that before.
After
so.
20 games, the needle's starting to move for me because I'm confused. I don't see where there's cohesive. Even Boston last year, they clicked late, but they have been together. Yeah. But the thing with Miami, I go back to them because they were that team when he signed, and they literally struggled.
And that would lead me to my second question: is this slow start a chemistry thing? It kind of seems like it could be. I mean, you have what 3 to 4 fresh faces that definitely changed the landscape of the team, changed what this team looks like.
Right.
PJ Tucker, I understand the thinking, but I don't understand why you would invest in somebody.
Well, the other thing is, and for the Tobias complainers, right? He's got Tobias back at the 3.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the Cubs pointed that out.
Mhm.
I'm like, wait a second. No. So PJ Tucker needs to come off the bench. It's just
Yep.
point blank, period.
Yep.
I need you to come off the bench. I'm going to stick in House Jr. or if you want to
Or
go with the
Thibault.
3 guard, rotate with the 3 guards with the put
Yeah.
Melton and start
I was gonna say
Melton.
with that kid Melton. Yeah.
Yeah, but I you can't have PJ Tucker started and then have Tobias, who's already the 4th option playing the 4. They have the pieces, TK.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind, Dave. They have the pieces.
They do.
That bench is upgraded.
Mhm.
He's just not utilizing, and
Is he not doing this? Is he not putting the right guys in the right positions? Is that what you're saying?
he's not. Yeah, Paul Reed needs to play, and so does Montrez.
Right.
They both need to play.
Mhm.
And I mean, I to piggyback off of what you're saying about Melton being possibly in the starter, I don't agree in that
That's
because
fair.
I don't feel like the
You
reason why
better
you
use
brought
a-
him in, you
to
brought him in
bench.
to come off the bench.
No, I agree. I agree.
And you don't want to take a guy out of his comfort level
Right.
in when you're struggling, when the team's struggling, because that's just going to lead to more discomfort. Like, and with regards to
No,
the
we're not trading
chemistry,
anybody. No,
no, with regards to
no trades.
with regards, not it's too early. To
Well,
even
Joe,
discuss that.
I'll read you out. Sean Kilrain. Good morning, Sean. Checks in.
What's up, Sean?
He said, "What's
going
up,
on,
guys?
Sean? So much.
Saw this trade. Would you do it? 76ers receive Reggie Bullock and a 2025 second round pick for Dallas, 2027 second round pick, and the Mavericks receive George Niang and
Nah, I
Matisse
like
Thybulle.
Nope, I like Niang.
Right now, we're struggling on the defensive end of the court.
What's the point of trading to get picks at this point?
Yeah, and
I
second,
don't
and
think
second
anybody-
round picks at that.
What are
That
we
does
trading
nothing.
again?
That does
I
nothing.
agree. I agree with that. With Joey's premise. I mean, didn't you just build to make a run?
Right.
now?
Right. Nah.
So
And I'm
now
not trading,
you're
and
going
I'm
to-
not trading George Niang.
So a minute,
It's a addition-
you're on the Yang train.
I've always been.
Okay.
Bang bang.
I know you have. I'm just saying, like,
Bang, bang.
yeah.
Unfortunately, the
He's
last
doing-
couple
he's in
of
his perfect
seasons,
position.
yeah, the
Okay.
last couple of seasons, they put him in over his head.
Yeah,
now,
he's a 6-man.
now he's further back on the depth chart and can actually kind of give you those minutes off the
And he's
bench.
been playing
that you
decent
need.
the past
Yes, he
few
has.
games.
Yeah,
Right.
he has.
Keep in mind, Dave, like when he first came, that offseason he came,
Right.
I mentioned it on the show, and you're like, who?
Right,
And
yeah.
because you weren't sure who he was.
I wasn't. No.
But now we all know who he is.
Mhm.
Like that's the difference. That's how you know a player.
We know who he's not. He's not the first man off the bench.
Right. But like now that we know who he is, that identifies him to the fan base saying, well, he's clearly stepped up because now you know who he is.
Right.
You didn't know who he was
Oh,
before.
we know he can shoot. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is where I kind of go with the chemistry thing is that I get all of that, but at some point I have to stop creating excuses for this team.
Mm.
I understand it. I mean, Damon, you have made this observation and an opinion about Tobias several times that he's had to change roles, and that's not wrong. But even with outside of Tobias, now we're talking as the team as a whole with the chemistry. How long is long enough for that to happen? I mean, are you going to give it a year?
What was far with Tobias or the chemistry?
No, the whole team for that to
Oh
mold
no!
together.
Well, so that's is that a 2-part? Is it with Doc or just like right now you can't move the team because this is it. This is the unit that we have. This is the unit that they. So now it's a matter of.
But can you move together as a chemistry? Can you move together as a unit? Can this team move together as a unit?
Can. It's just a matter of who's moving the pieces, and that goes back to the coach.
Yeah, and I don't know if he knows what he's doing.
I didn't hear this, but a friend of my brother, I was getting my hair cut, said, no, his cousin says to me, because he's a big Sixer fan, that he was listening to a podcast and KD and not KD, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce said that they did not at times do the plays that Doc called. They were like, no, I like it better on this side. He's like, no. So they're like, yo, man, we're just gonna run.
So they're
this.
just ignoring Doc altogether.
So his one ring came from guys going against what he was telling them to do.
Yeah, and it's just like then you run. Listen.
Then
man,
what's the point of having a coach if you're just going to do what you
right?
Listen, I didn't hear it. This is secondhand. So
No, I get
I
it.
want to hear it in the whole
Right.
context. Like what?
Yeah, we'll have to track down that podcast. I would
Yeah,
love to hear
I
that
wouldn't want to hear that.
because that goes kind of right to what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, and I had done a little bit of research before today's show about the idea because I was curious Like, what Doc's success rate after 3 or 4 years with a team? And his success rate is just it plummets.
Well, people forget. Orlando Magic was on a very, 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 very long losing streak
Yeah, they were.
before
Yeah.
he went to the Celtics.
Mm.
And people could equate that with personnel, but no one talks about that.
Dang, what's with Atlanta? They have our number for some reason. I
We
don't
beat
get
them
it.
a couple times.
Yeah,
last
but
year.
they beat us later their night. They beat us pretty good.
We'll beat them tonight.
And we
I'm
got.
gonna
I was
book
saying
that.
we got them tonight.
I don't like these home and homes. I think Sixers got 3 of them already.
Yeah.
Man.
Before they changed the rules, and the calls to where half the team of Atlanta could jump into you, get a foul, and score.
Right.
Once they changed the rules, it kind of neutralized
Yeah.
a little bit of what they were able to do against.
Yeah.
them.
And I think that's why they went and got Murray from the Spurs, because he's the opposite of that.
Right.
He's the I will attack you kind of guy. So when you have a guy that can attack the hoop and then kick it back to Trey doesn't have to worry about leaning into anybody. He can just take an
Well, so
open
then
shot.
what you do to him is, this is why I know Maxey was pressing. Last year, my son and I went to the Atlanta game with the Sixers, and we actually had a pretty decent season. Maxey D'd him up at the one end of the court to the other, and it was attacking him. He's a great scorer, that guy.
No doubt.
You're not gonna ever stop him.
No.
But if you got to make him work on defense, you attack him.
Well, we talked about it before you came in, Dame, and Dave brought it up, is about the lack of defense this team
Yeah,
is
what's
showing.
up with the defense?
Well, they've been actually, prior to Harden going out, they were like grabbing steals. They were starting to play some good ball.
Yeah.
And they were holding teams under 100 points. To your point, and I get what you're saying, the other night was not a good sample.
not at all.
They were just, I don't know what that was, because they were not getting back on defense. But prior to that, and I know a lot of y'all admitted y'all weren't watching. I'm just saying, because of the Phillies, and I get it. But a lot of times they were getting back on defense way better than last year. They were causing turnovers. Actually, their turnovers, they're like in the top 5 as far as Sixers are, as far as giving up the ball.
But it just seems to me the energy's not there, Dame.
Well,
Well, it wasn't there Saturday, but there was a
I'm
couple of
gonna-
games it was pretty decent. Like, I mean, listen, it's not consistent.
I'm gonna
I
challenge-
can't
yeah,
debate
yeah.
that. It's
when
not-
this
I can't
team
debate that.
has to play good defense against good teams, they fail, and that's the big problem. Because if you look
think
at the
so?
look at the first 2 games, they let up like over 110 or 115
Yeah,
on the Celtics and 120 almost
But
with
they
the
beat up
Bucks.
Phoenix. Phoenix is the best team in the West.
I get it,
And
but they did it
you go-
without Chris Paul.
Doesn't matter. He started the game.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
but he
He
went
started
out
the game.
early.
I think I
He
did
went
hear
out
it.
early.
And the Sixers did it without Harden. So I mean, you can go there with it, Joe. So I'm saying, like, with whoever's on the court's on the court.
I get it.
And they beat him up, and Melton did it. Listen, that kid Booker kills the Sixers.
Are you liking this kid, Milton?
Love him.
Okay.
And
No, I'm asking. I'm just want to know.
Yeah, I love him.
That's
I
okay.
mean, I like him.
He's the best.
Solid.
He's the best
I'm
asset.
not
from
saying
this
he's a bad.
offseason.
I'm saying. What do you think? Like,
He's the best asset from
He's
this
solid,
offseason.
man.
Okay, he's
He's
solid.
both,
He's the
on
best
both ends
asset.
of the floor.
Okay.
He's athletic. That kid gets in there and
20
rebound like no other. Man.
24 years old. He's going to be a 6th man.
the ghost is walking in, guys.
Oh,
Door
yeah,
just opened
dog.
up.
I saw your eyes going.
Yeah, I was like,
Nah, I mean, listen, man. There's a lineup he had. He had Melton, Maxey, which I like those two in the back. This is when Harden was here.
Okay.
He had Melton, Maxey, Niang, Montrez, and it was either House or
I think it was House.
or Thibault.
I think it was
That
House.
lineup was
Yeah.
nice.
Sean Kilran's checking in. He said, Maxey looks lost. Since Harden went down, Maxey's game is rapidly
He's forcing
declined. His efficiency, he's
Forcing
forcing it. He's asking, do you think he can rebound from
Sure.
this slump?
Sure.
Yeah, I agree, Dame.
James,
I
I
think
want
so,
to
yeah.
I want to get your take on
James
a lot
is
of this.
James
is going
James
to
get
throw the
talk-
ghost
Yeah,
out
James
into
is
the
He's throwing the
street,
ghost
shut the
out,
door.
out of the studio.
Yeah, he's fucking the ghost.
He's the bouncer.
No ghost in here.
He's the ghost bouncer.
James is
Ghost of
the
Ben Simmons. Wow.
Wow.
You have to have a heart to have a ghost, though.
No.
So
I'm sorry, Joe. What were you saying, pal?
I was saying, what was your what's your take on all the Sixers failures right now?
I mean, I don't even know how to describe it, frankly, because it's like, because it's just like there's like so many errors on this team. I think there's a lack of exhaustion that I have to deal with this team, and I think the other thing I could take about it too. What's been going on with Joel Embiid? I can't
That leads me
understand.
into my night. Does he seem off to you?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's
Even
just,
though the other night he dropped 33.
I was going to say he dropped 33.
I
the other
know,
night,
but he doesn't. He
he
seems
just looks
off.
like he doesn't give
and
a
he did
shit
it with no
anymore.
problem.
You know, he didn't do that. He's not doing that consistently.
No,
though.
but
No.
And he used to. He used to a
I-
lot.
I think the reason why he like basically is lost is because like he got rejected from that MVP twice. He said, "Well, if I'm not the MVP, then screw it. Then
What
I'd
else do
rather-
I have to do?
What else
yeah.
can I have to
yeah,
do?
what
Yeah,
more can
exactly.
I do? Right.
That's got to take a toll on anybody if you get kind of passed over not once but twice.
Twice.
Yeah, I mean, how many times
Yeah.
are going to get screwed over?
And understand, we
Good
all
point on that,
sat
James. Good
Yeah.
point.
we all sat here and said that Embiid should have won both because Jokic only plays one half of the court and Embiid doesn't. And that's the difference. But the people that are voting for MVP don't really get that. They are more, it's not a valuable player, it's a valuable participant.
Right.
If you're there and you show up into the game and it doesn't matter if you don't put up the stats, well, then what are we judging the reward on?
All right.
If we're not, if we're not like I just said, like if he's like, let's say for example, he's having a phenomenal year again, and he's going to get screwed over for the third time, it's going to be like it takes a toll on him. I can tell it's like taking a toll on him. It's like
It definitely
like if
can.
you don't respect me, it's kind of like the Ronnie Dangerfield treatment. Like you don't respect me, then I'm not going to respect you.
Right.
Right.
I mean, look, this
Just
team
saying.
is got to get out of their own way at times.
They got to go. They have to go on a run. They have to big like at least like.
Yeah.
But
I
is
don't
that
think-
gonna
but-
that gonna bail out all
that
of
will,
this?
yeah, but
Yeah.
but that'll cure some things if they
I
go
agree
eight,
with Dave.
eight on a 10 game run.
Right.
You know, and then I mean get their get back into the swing, do what they need to do.
You know,
which
Good point,
which
Dave.
they
Good point,
which
Dave.
they can
Absolutely.
do.
It is a
Good
good
point,
point.
Dave.
They can.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
All
Yeah,
right,
you know.
so
that's just needed.
I'm gonna play a game that Tom played a couple weeks ago.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
all right, I'm gonna go around the horn.
Mm.
All right.
Trust, don't trust.
All right, here we
Okay.
go.
Tom, I'm gonna start with you, and I'm gonna go around. Doc Rivers, trust, don't trust.
No, I don't trust.
Dave,
Trust.
James.
He's in the bathroom right now. He's a mush. I don't trust him.
I'm
Wow.
going to be a.
Dame.
Can I?
You
can
need
I-
8
can
more
I-
games in order for him to
Yeah,
tell you.
That's
yeah.
what I'm
All
saying.
right.
Well,
Hey, Jerry,
like I said, we're 12 games in, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep trust for now.
So
That could change.
I'm gonna go with Dave. I'm gonna do a trust. I'm
All right.
going with a trust.
So Joel Embiid. Tom, trust, don't trust.
I mean, you got to trust Joel Embiid, dude. He looks like he could give 2 shits about what's going on out there, and he's still putting up numbers. I realize it's not with the consistency of years past, but yeah, you got. I mean, that's your star. You got to trust your star.
Dave.
You guys know I love Joe. I am a Joe fan. Always have been. Love the guy. I trust.
that's-
I'm in
that's-
trust. I love Joe. I'm a Joe guy.
James.
That's here you go.
I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I don't think it's. I think he's just don't trust. I don't trust
You
him.
don't trust him?
Dave.
Really,
Dame.
I absolutely trust him because honestly, I'm not saying what y'all are saying. I'll be honest. The reason why I'm not saying what you're saying because I see him on both ends of the floor working. I've seen him in games where he's calling for the people. Oh, I need him in the post. At night, he dropped 40. He was in the post. Matter of fact, against Toronto, he was in the post the entire night.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's coming off the flu foot. He's Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I don't know what more people want him to do. They say he's not interested. I don't know. Like I don't know. I have to put up 40 points
I
and
think
15 rebounds and not be interested.
I mean,
I would love to see if you could do that. Not interested. I would love to see you doing that when you
Yeah.
are
when you're in it, yeah, exactly.
That to me, that's just like I don't know because he's not doing the antics to the fans.
Yeah, I, mean, I guess
May-
that's
may-
more
may-
what it
may-
is.
Maybe it's that, but he's
Well, he's gonna have 5 games to have antics with the fans because he's gonna have a 5-game homestand.
starting
So
tonight.
And it's not like I don't trust
Okay,
him.
so we have to
entirely,
go
it's just
4-1
like a
this
semi. I
homestand.
don't trust
At least
him.
4-1.
No, I mean, I mean, listen, you're not the only one who said that. I mean, people are saying something. I'm just like, I just don't see it. I see.
Right.
I mean, does he do things sometimes like Joe? But yeah, but he's still Joe.
I
to
think
me.
you're
He's
right. I
still
think it's more he's not the Joel we're used to seeing.
Right.
There's no antics. There's no hyping
Yeah,
the
he's
crowd
just-
up. There's no like what's going on. I can't hear you.
Right, right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that gives people the
Well,
impression
that's-
that mentally you're checked
Yeah,
out in a
when-
way.
right. Okay,
But
I
when
got
you're
you.
5 and
Even though you're
7,
dropping
when you're-
monster numbers.
right, but when you're 5 and 7, you're not going to do that.
right.
You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Dave,
also
it doesn't
true.
feel the same because it's like I'm
No,
putting
it
up the
doesn't.
numbers, but I'm
Right.
not winning.
Winning, right?
And,
So-
I think he's a burning desire to win.
Well, I
I
go
think that's
into
there. I don't ever question that.
I go
Nah,
into
me
the
neither.
idea that, and we've all heard it, and we've all said it. Winning cures all ails. Last one, Harden. Trust, don't trust. Tom,
I gotta trust the guy. I mean, I know he's hurt and everything, but he's your
was at that
he's
game.
your second,
Okay.
star. If you
Because
like,
when he comes back from the injury, you have to either be on board or not.
right,
Because it's gonna
I
be a
have
short
to
window.
be on board with the top players
Mhm.
on my team, because if I'm not on board with them, now coaching is different.
Yep.
But with your players,
Mhm.
in my eyes, in my opinion, you got to be on board with your top guys.
Dave,
Before I say my answer, how long are we talking with the injury wise?
3 more weeks.
3 more
Three
weeks.
more weeks.
Yes, maybe less.
Maybe less.
Could be less.
Could be less.
Okay.
But they're gonna coddle him a little bit because of
so?
all the past.
You guys
injuries
know
he's
I'm
had.
not a Harden guy. I never was.
I
So I'm
know.
gonna say no trust on that one.
I was
Sorry.
gonna skip over you
No, no, no,
because I think
'cause
we
you,
already knew
you
the
know
answer.
where I'm going with this. I am not a Harden guy. Never
James?
was. So, no trust.
James, trust, don't trust.
I don't know, man. I think it's probably a mixture of trust and don't trust. It's like the trust thing.
James don't trust nobody.
Well, I don't know what this team is.
He's literally taking the stone cold approach.
I love it.
I don't
ETA.
mean to depress
At least
you
I was
guys,
2
I'm
out of
sorry.
3.
I know.
I don't
I
mean
mean,
to
come on.
depress you guys, but I don't know what this team is.
Okay.
There's no
Fair.
identity.
Fair.
Mhm.
Dame, trust, don't
I
trust.
Come on,
absolutely-
James.
How can you not trust a guy who gives up that money, man? Yeah, I trust him, dude. And I think he came back looking great. I was at the game when he got hurt. I missed that. We were sitting there, and it was next thing you know, the next day I'm like, Harden's out. I was at that game. It was crazy.
Joe, and how about you? Do you
So-
trust James Harden? Or
So
not?
I'm gonna give you all 3 of my answers. So with
All right.
Doc, I don't trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't trust because I don't feel like he's making the moves that I feel like a guy of his experience level, a guy of his
Hey, he's falling asleep on
clout.
on the bench.
And look, this guy has 1,000 regular season wins. He's not performing like that right now. A coach has to perform just like players have to.
Mhm.
And if he's not doing it, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire.
Right.
With Joel Embiid, I don't trust.
What?
Man.
Really?
I don't trust.
Did I just hear that out of your mouth? What?
And I'll explain why.
Oh my God! I'll be able to
I feel a little like James makes a valid point, and I feel like Joel has reverted backwards, not progressed forwards, but regressed to
Yep.
the older self that he was, that he compartmentalizes who he is versus what he is to the team.
He'll drop 40 tonight.
Well, here's the look,
45.
but
That's
understand.
Marks is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I understand.
Go fuck yourself,
Listen, from a guy who sat here in this seat,
at the NBA.
and from a guy who sat here in this seat and said that you were the MVP 2 straight years and you got ripped off, you aren't playing like an MVP caliber. You're not even playing close to an all-star
Now he's
caliber
definitely dropping 45 tonight.
right now. You need to come out of whatever coma you've been in, and you need to shut me up, and I can reverse that to trust.
I'm
I'm fine with
You're not
that.
wrong
I
there,
have to
Joe.
say, I disagree with you, and I think I know your frustration is because if they were, let's say if they were 7-5 as opposed to 5-7,
Right.
because one, he was out for a while, Joe. 2, when he comes back, he puts up the numbers. If he comes back and puts up 12 and 10, or he comes back and puts up, but he comes back and put up 33 and 10 off the rip.
You want me to give you prime examples?
Like it's like, and I'm not talking about like he's getting 33 points in some lame minutes. It's like
Right.
he's coming in working. So when people say, I'm like at this point, to me, there's nothing to question about this guy. Now, other than when we get to that point, I need you to get out the second round. That's it. Other than that, regular season, he's the same dude. He's I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't say that.
Dame, you know I love you. You
Yeah,
know I love you.
It's all good.
But-
I mean, you know,
But this is, I mean, if Tom had the sound drop for a bell ringing, this is where it would happen.
I don't see that.
But
ding, ding.
listen, let me explain what one of my very valid
Yes,
points here.
please.
Okay.
Sorry, boys. That one got a little loud.
Yeah, did it.
He's blasting us out of the studio, people.
What?
That'll wake you up.
What?
What?
So,
Oh God, here we go.
So, the Celtics game.
Right.
Joel comes out. You have to come out in the season, and you have to show what the tempo and the pace and the spirit of this team is going to be about. He played against a guy that's 5 inches smaller than him, and he didn't even attempt to go under the box.
Who's that, Joe?
Joel Embiid against because they were shorthanded with their big men. So he
Was
played
the game against
the
Atlanta?
Celtics. The
Oh,
Celtics.
It wasn't Horford, was it?
No. Well, Horford got in foul trouble early, so
Okay.
they had to go to the other guy who was like 6'9", 6'8",
Al Horford's my daddy.
Bradley.
and
Bradley.
the guy's 3 to 4 inches smaller than Joel. Bradley. Okay.
Okay.
And he's 3 or 4 inches smaller than Joel and about 50 pounds lighter. Joel could have who could reach up and just dunk the ball over him.
Right.
It's literally like a 6-foot guy playing against a midget. And he just didn't decide to do anything about it. Shaquille O'Neal said it, and I don't always agree with that big monster, but I did this time in the sense that big men take advantage of small men, and he didn't. And
Big
he
people beat up
hasn't.
little people.
Right. Well, yes.
All right,
but,
Chip. We hear you.
but here's the thing: is my feeling is this. That's one example, but he's dealt with other examples similar to that this short season, and he's dealt with that in the past. If you can own the box, if you can own being below and just scoring 40 consistently because you just have a matchup problem, why aren't you?
So I'm asking you this: then is your
point.
beef with him like the older crowd, the older guys that come on and some people call him soft, and I'm like, well, I'm really like, dude, that dude is not like
Embiid.
He's the antithesis of soft.
No.
Come on, Danny.
Is it a thing of you want him to be in the block more?
I want him to take advantage of situations that he can take advantage of.
So for the record, if that's the case, he leads the league in post-ups. He also, the way I look at it, and to Shaq, first of all, that's unrealistic in today's basketball. Because of the three-point shot, it is designed for everything to start from outside in.
But he starts at he pivots from the 3-point line, and then he only uses the block as like a last resort. When you're a big guy and you are probably one of the most dominant centers in the league right now. No, you are the most dominant center in the league right now. Why aren't you? I get the league is different. I do. But when you have a matchup change, a matchup differential where you can take advantage of it, you should. Look, me and Tom used to play basketball one-on-one.
This is going to be a horrible analogy.
No, it's not, because it's going to compliment you. So just sit there and take the elation.
Take the compliment.
Yeah. I'm about to throw flowers at your feet. So when we used to play basketball,
Roses.
we're about the same height. He's a little taller than me. He could do certain things that he knew he could take advantage of. Matchup wise. That's not like anything coaching. That's just strategical analysis. That is you saying, I'm better than you and I'm going to do it. Why isn't Embiid doing that?
I will say it frustrates me when he dribbles from the post to the block. When I'm like, dude, I'm at the games yelling, walk to the block. However, this is what makes him unique, and I've accepted this. For instance, when Harden hits him with the bounce pass and he's at the top of the free throw line, that's a layup for him. That's a legit jump shot. I go back and I always use this for Patrick Ewing when I lived in New York and go to the Knicks games and watching him. He had a legitimate baseline jump shot.
Yeah, but Ewing did take it down
He did.
Down low too.
He did in a different era. And B does take you in the post.
He can.
And what he does, it's almost like a boxing match.
Right.
I've warmed you up out here. Now I'm going to take you down low, and that's how he gets his and one.
Yeah, but he's no Olajuwon.
Right.
No, he's not Olajuwon, but he ain't far from behind him either.
Well, no, he's not.
But
that's to me what makes him unique.
Athletically, he's as close as anybody's been to
James,
Olajuwon.
He's no Mo either
for that side.
You just made my point.
He's no Mo either.
But he's a.
Come on, how many times do we see Mo in the
Malone?
Yeah, how many times we see Mo in the paint all day?
Right, but that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand.
Okay.
That's not going to happen with him.
Right.
You have to accept that because one, today's game has changed. Two, that's not who he is.
Okay.
He does it when he needs to and he wants to, but he's not going to do it every possession. He's just not. He loves the fact that he can move around. He told you I studied Jordan and Kobe.
Right.
He said that, and he shows that in his play.
But my point being is he's not the centers we used to see back then.
Hang on. There's a difference.
And that's to me, I'm like, dude, I'm embracing this.
I mean, we're not.
There's a difference
Y'all
between.
understand?
We're not
I'm the
seeing the
complete-
Olajuwons. We're not seeing the Moes. We're
I'm
not seeing
okay.
the Ewings.
You know who I'm
Right.
seeing?
Yeah.
Joel, Hans, and B.
Do you see a lot of?
Hold
Go ahead.
on. What I'm seeing in this dude is special. I'm seeing a 7-foot dude dribble the ball from one end of the court to the other and take it up like it's nothing.
Okay.
I'm seeing a 7-foot dude take a jump shot from the top of the key. I'm seeing a 7-foot dude post people when I want to, not as much as everybody else wants to, and I'm still dominating, and no one can stop me.
Do you see?
And by the way,
wait a minute.
Shaq, hold up. By the way,
Go ahead,
Shaq,
go ahead.
I got a 7-foot dude that makes free throws. Time's yours.
Do you see? No, what? Do you see a lot of Ralph Sampson in Embiid? That's my question.
No. Oh, by the way. No, here's the reason why.
Okay.
Here's the reason why. It was just the guy actually, you want to talk about Olajuwon and Moses? I put him up there defensively with them.
Okay.
I put him up there. I've seen the guy literally leave from one end of the court to the other, block a shot and come down. Dude, I'm telling y'all, if you want to stay there and listen to old Motown and not listen to the new music, there's nothing wrong with the old Motown.
Hang on.
The old Motown is classic.
Joe,
I'm
you
not-
still
I'm
have
not
one
dissing
more
it.
trust.
I'm not dissing
Do you see a lot of Sampson in
I know.
Embiid? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
The soft because you think it's
That's what I'm
so
saying.
Let's get to the point.
Yes.
No, Embiid is not this. Embiid is anything. He's one of the most toughest 7-foot centers I've ever seen.
Okay.
in my life.
I want to finish this
Soft is
by
not even in
saying
place.
this. I want to finish this by saying this. You mentioned two players.
Yes, sir.
Jordan and Kobe.
Yes, sir.
You said that Embiid watches.
He studied their tape. He
Study
emulates
their
it.
tape.
Yes, he emulates
You know
it.
what he doesn't have that they both had?
What's that?
Killer instinct.
I disagree with you.
Because
Oh,
he didn't
make a jump shot in the playoffs.
No.
He didn't make a jump shot in the playoffs to win the
He
game.
turns his killer instinct on and off. Kobe and Jordan never turn theirs on and off.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Thank you.
Okay. So because Kobe and Jordan, I'm not going to dispute their killer instinct.
They're also anomalies.
Yeah, but
though.
two different positions. You can't go there.
Joel nowadays.
One is two different positions.
You can't go there.
But to say he doesn't have a killer, this dude will hit game-winning jump shots.
But it doesn't feel like every game.
No one's ever going to feel like a Kobe and a Jordan.
It doesn't.
Matter of fact, as a matter of fact, there's only I can even say 5. There's 5 assassins in my lifetime. AI, Kobe, Jordan. Bird was an assassin.
Magic.
What about Reggie Miller?
Magic wasn't an assassin. Reggie Miller wasn't an assassin. Those are the 5 assassons I've seen in my
You're
life.
not putting Magic as an assassin?
Nah, Magic was great, but he wasn't in the an assassin. Like these dudes would step in. I mean it. I'm telling you, they would.
Kobe ran through Pau Gasol.
Yeah, they don't. They're different.
In the Olympics or whatever it was.
Yeah.
This is what I mean by killer instinct.
That's his teammate. So yeah, you're not going to have people that think like that.
This is what I mean by killer instinct. So when Jordan and Kobe and Tom hit the nail on the head, when they went and their killer instinct was, if I know I can expose this dude's weakness every time, I'm going to do it every time
until they stop me.
Until they stop me. You have to stop me, not the other way around. Joel, hang on. Joel stops himself. And you even said that you right before. You said it's not who he is. Why does who you are?
Who is to play in the post every position.
No. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he plays more on the 3-point line than he should. And if you got a guy that's 4 inches smaller and 50 pounds lighter, you need to understand that's a matchup that you need to take advantage of in the block.
But see,
agree to disagree.
But I never really like that term. We just disagree because here's a situation. This is me. I've accepted who he is, and when I look at it, I'm like, yo, this is crazy to watch. I don't look for him to be Olajuwon. I don't look for him to be Moses because Joe, Joe. As far as the Kobe thing, when he said that, he wasn't talking about taking on their kids. He was talking about their moves. He said, I emulate their moves. And nothing about their intentions.
Right.
But there's Charles Barkley was a killer, but he wasn't on the killer level of Charles. So there's different levels of killers.
Let me ask you a question.
Those dudes were assassins.
Tell me, going back to assassins, Joey, real quick. Going back to assassins.
Those were assassins.
Wait, what about the mailman?
No.
No?
I'm telling you,
Joe, you have one more.
I've seen in my life.
I love the mailman. I was a mailman.
But he wasn't
reel it back in.
I'm going to sit here and say, with James Harden.
Yeah.
Talking about the mailman?
I'm going to sit there and say, I have to trust James Harden. And this is why. He's the distributor of this team. This team, when he's on the floor, and Maxi's proof of this right now, when he's on the floor, things kind of like they work as long as people are in the right positions and they're doing their job.
Right.
But if he's not on the floor facilitating, you're seeing right now how much certain players are overreaching their skill set.
Yeah,
He controls it. He
yeah,
controls the tempo.
a lot of people
He's
are,
the
are
quarterback.
pushing, and
Good point,
that's
good point.
why I said I trust James Harden. And
Yeah.
you know who James Harden should trust with workman's compensation getting hurt at work? David R. Cherry Esquire, workman's compensation, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. Call David today at 610-565-0300. Tell him the boys at Pattison Ave EOP sent you. And if James Harden needs a workman's compensation lawyer because he got hurt at work, James, why don't you give David Archerry a call?
And let me say this real quick because I know we're gonna move on. With Embiid, I believe that once the Sixers do get out of the second round, it'll kill all wills.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest.
I agree with that.
I think that's the biggest.
I think
once that happens, people are really start to see like.
I've just my point of
I
view.
think that's the biggest thing holding
My
back.
point of view, Dame, and this is the difference with the block and the 3-point line with the matchups.
And by the way, he only takes an average of 2 3-point shots a game. But I'll just leave that alone.
But he exaggerates
2 more than Ben
from
Simmons
some games to the next. But my point is this.
Hey,
But he exaggerates because he'll take 0 one game and he'll take 5.
No, it takes about 2.
He took 6 shots from the 3-point line in the Celtics game.
Yeah, but Joe, that's game
But
one.
what I'm getting at, I'm getting away from my point. What I'm getting at is this: if you're a big man that has an advantage on your matchup,
right?
If you are taking a 3-point shot versus going bow to bow with that guy in the block, aren't you giving that guy a free pass if you're taking a 3-point shot?
Nah, because
not in Embiid's mind because he feels like he can make it.
Right, but I'm not asking in Embiid's mind. I'm asking in your mind.
No, but in Embiid,
but Embiid's the one that counts.
Yeah. In my mind,
he's the one out
matter.
on the floor.
He's on
if
the
I'm
floor.
criticizing him, that's why I'm criticizing.
I get that. But to him, he could shoot the 3. He could shoot the mid range. He can back you down. He can play in the block. He can play in the post. He can do in his mind. He could do everything on the floor. So he's not taking away from that that matchup that you see him winning. He's just utilizing his skill set in his mind. But I see where you're coming
from. And in all fairness, Joe, you've seen him like in the early days go him and Cat Williams. Give me the ball. I'm taking him in the block. You've seen him take certain guys. Certain guys he'll just go at, and certain guys he's like, you know what? And I hear what you're saying. You're not. I'm just saying like when I look at it, I'm just like. I don't know. I just see something. Like,
see, it's funny going back to the word assassins because you really got me going when you said that.
Assassin. Charles Barkley was a killer.
I get that, but I'm saying,
assassin.
But Team USA, the very first Team USA, that was an assassin team to me. I'm sorry, every single guy on that team was an assassin.
Which team?
It was just
USA?
a great.
No, you're playing the sister.
The original. No. But you know what I'm saying?
Sister Mary Agnes.
Time out.
Like if you tried to block me on a football field, I'm an assassin.
Time out. I'm talking Jordan,
Dream Team?
Magic,
The Dream Team.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. That's not an assassin.
To me, it is.
An assassin.
Chris Mullen.
All the best
Mailman?
players, all the best players in the
Ewing?
world versus the rest of the world.
Chris Mullen would have to have an assassin hired
Chris
in order for Chris Mullen to
Chris
be an
Mullen's a
assassin.
player, man. Chris Mullen's a
He's a
player.
great player. We're not saying that. We're saying these guys like
could kill a team single-handedly.
Every single one of them, they were an assassin. The whole team was an assassin.
Wait. When did Chris Mullen ever kill a
Stockton
team?
become an assassin?
Who?
No.
When did John Stockton become an assassin?
Hey, man, best point guard in the game at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
He still is.
Mo Cheeks is a great point guard. I love him to death, but he
I'm
wasn't
saying
an
every
assassin.
single player on that team had something, had some kind of.
Dave, we're not saying that, but I'm saying when you talk, we're talking about like Reggie Miller, the Knicks, like. That was real.
Okay,
like Jordan in Detroit. Like, that was Tom and Joe on from
it's
battling
easy
dudes across the way in South Philly. Like that was some real rumble.
It's easy to look
You know what
like
I'm saying?
an assassin when you're playing against inferior competition.
I understand that.
What Damon's saying is Reggie Miller used to go right after Jordan.
Right.
Yeah.
Kobe and Jordan would go at each other. That's
them
alpha male assassins going
Mike
at
didn't like
each other.
nobody.
And
No.
listen,
Like,
and
nobody.
I'll
I get what you're saying,
and I'll agree with.
teammates,
but every
guys
single
on the
one of
other
those
team,
players
nobody.
had some kind of
But when did
a
Chris
killer
Mullen?
instinct.
No,
Even when they're on the court, it doesn't matter.
Chris Mullen did not have a killer.
Yes, he did.
instinct.
Oh, yes, he did. That boy,
What game?
that
What
boy-
was his best game?
that
Dave?
boy could shoot threes all day
One
long.
Chris
TMC,
Mullen?
TMC,
When did Chris Mullen?
TMC.
What was the best
Chris
game that Chris
Mullen.
Mullen had? What was the best game?
Went in,
I can name the best game that Allen had. I can name the best game that Jordan had. I can name the best game that Kobe.
That's not my point. My point being is,
but no, that's
they're all
our
great
point.
Players.
But that's our point. Assassins, you remember how they dominated games.
Heroes live forever, but legends never die.
Dave, just go back to listen to Michael Jordan's.
Told you to lay off
Hall
that
of Fame.
whiskey in the morning.
If you listen to Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech, that dude's like, yeah, he's different.
Jordan was the best. There's no doubt about that. We know that.
He held grudges. He talked about a dude from 5th grade.
He still does.
Like
him and Isaiah still haven't talked to each other.
And that just resurfaced. He talked about a guy, Tom Evans, 5th grade. I remember you stole and then when he got cut twice from his high school bat,
freshman year.
Really,
he held a grudge against Roy Williams with North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah. He carried. Kobe's the same way. Those dudes they're just built different. It's not saying that the dream team like Magic didn't have guts. No, Magic hit a hook shot against Boston in the championship in the Garden. No, that's guts. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but these dudes here,
Magic played center against us in '81.
Of course he did. But those dudes are just different. They're different, man. They're just a different. Put it this way.
I'm just like blown away. He's telling me Chris Mullin.
Yeah, Chris Mullin's a good player. Look at his stats.
But he's not an assassin.
Okay.
Like Chris Mullin doesn't put fear in me.
Okay. Not at all.
We're saying
not at all.
Stockton, Mullin.
Nah.
Ewing.
So an assassin is like the team could be down by like 10 points with like 3 minutes left, and Kobe or Jordan or Iverson or Reggie,
I understand that,
or even Bird or even forgive me, Bird.
Right, of course, Larry. We all know that.
Can murder you.
Larry Legend.
That's
we know
an assassin.
An assassin is a guy who Kobe who said he literally didn't trust anyone on his team on the floor, so he wasn't passing the ball.
You know what an assassin is?
Can I add one?
When he plays his hometown team in the finals and says, "I want to slit their throats."
Yeah, that's an assassin.
Can I add one?
That's an
because
assassin.
I know Frank's listening, so can I add one? Will Chamberlain. That was an assassin.
Yeah. Bill Russell had his number.
Yeah, but
Bill Russell had his number.
That's a men playing against boys.
Oh, I know, but he still killed them.
Like the way I envision an assassin is going up against someone
other men
equal,
going against
equal.
Agreed.
Talent level,
but that's not his fault. I mean, that's not Chamberlain's fault.
I understand.
Well, I'm curious.
It's like circumstances.
Yeah, I know.
I'm curious, and this is not to you. This is just so I've never seen Will play. My uncle saw him play, and I've said this with you guys before. I even hear people younger than me say, "Well, it wasn't a lot of teams.
Well,
different era."
Will was an assassin, but in a bedroom, not on a basketball court.
True.
Did Pat Bernard just join the show?
I'll be here all week trying to be on.
No, but it's like so I it kind of ties into the whole sport, particularly with basketball. Like all of a sudden, and I'm a Curry fan. That's my guy. They want to put him in top 5 player, and I'm saying, nah, you can't do that because
not yet.
It's too it's going to change era by era,
but not yet. But not yet. He's not done.
I don't even do top 5, top
yet.
10 anymore. You know why? Because it's going to change. It's a constant change. And I said to say, going back to Will Chamberlain, I didn't see the guy, but I don't care what era. If you average 50 points and 25 rebounds,
but in a game
of basketball, it can't be that much. And by the way, they changed the rules.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to try.
Yeah, when they change the rules for you, I get that.
Like, that's crazy to me.
Can I make the statement with Curry?
Yeah,
and we're talking about Stephen.
Yeah.
The idea that he changed the landscape of the NBA by his gameplay.
When they change rules for you,
without a doubt.
And for right now, and this is why I'm saying I can't say that he won't go down as that because he's still playing and he could still get titles.
But okay, so for me, let me go back, and this is crazy. I talk about this guy, and never was even.
And I thought he was done 2 years ago.
Well, okay, so when I hear people say Bird couldn't play in this era, right? I go, what the what?
No,
and I'm offended by that not as a Bird fan or something. I'm neither one, but I respect the heck out of the guy, and I'm like, dude, he was a wasn't the fastest player, but was very savvy and smart, and stayed locked in. And I say that to say, James, because he could steal a ball when needed. And I'm like, dude could just shoot.
Dude, Bird could pass too.
He could pass.
Bird could pass.
Shoot, and at times take you off the dribble when I needed to. At times, wasn't often.
I'm going to revolve this. I'm going to revolve this back around.
So when I say that to say, just to your point, it's like, how can I squeeze someone out that set a precedence to put someone else in there also set a precedent. So it's just like, to me, it's just like, once you're great, you're great. I just can't even rank you anymore.
So to wrap
you're
it,
just simply great.
wrap it back around, because I know we're gonna get to the Phillies and the
Nope,
Birds.
Phillies are out. We're going right to the Birds.
Okay.
Oh,
Phillies are out.
can we get 5 minutes of Phillies?
Nope.
Okay.
You guys ran 25 minutes of fucking players from 20 years ago.
Okay. Sorry.
Well,
years ago.
So
Sorry about that.
one of the
The
things that
captain's got to keep the show moving, boys.
so one of the things that that's partly my fault, but
It's my
Gee.
fault.
well,
What a surprise.
one of the things that I wanted to ask to kind of wrap this up a little with the next 5-game homestand,
Yeah, man.
where's your feeling? Where's everybody's feelings when it comes down to this team getting the head out of their ass?
They have to go 4-1 on the same 505. 4-1.
I'm going to go with the next. I'm going to go with Damon's 8 games to get to that 20.
Gotcha.
And if they,
So they could lose all these next 5, and you're still like gonna.
I need to see.
I'm just asking.
I need to see Embiid re-engage.
Yeah, I got
I look. He's so good. He's so good. His points are going to come regardless.
Mhm.
I would love to see him re-engage, and you like when you look into his eyes, you see that fire again. Because that's what's missing. That I don't think people are necessarily saying it's the scoring and all that stuff. I think it's just when you look into somebody's eyes, he's so good, he could be checked out and still do what he's doing.
So I just had a euphoric moment based upon what you said. I got you guys now. That's going to ignite the team, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't you think that it would?
Nah, I got you.
And I mean that's your general out there on the floor.
you.
And then
No,
if
I
he
got you.
re-engages and in 2.5 or 3 weeks, Harden comes back.
Right.
That's
and
why I
Harden's
want.
fired up. That's
I got you.
That's why I want
That's
Joe.
fair game. That's fair.
That's
game.
why I
think
want
it-
Joe to shut me
Dave,
up.
Dave,
No,
That's
I
fine.
got you. listen. That's why.
Dave,
That's why we have conversation.
Dave,
Right?
does Katie bug you?
Who?
Does Katie bug you?
No, I like Katie.
Okay. Just asking.
See.
I'm just asking.
No,
I'm just
can
asking. I'm
Dave,
not. I
Dave,
don't.
You know why I dig you, Dave? You're my dude. Because I know there's something behind it. You're like a scientist, right? You're a scientist, and I love science.
Later.
So what is your feeling about Katie?
I don't mind her. She's all right.
No, I see on
Yeah.
Facebook when people are dogging it. I'm like, dude, first of all,
next week.
no one can ever replace Zumov. Like that's
no.
like
No, I'm just.
No.
My question was, does Katie bug you?
no. I like her because she goes bang bang.
Okay.
That didn't come out right.
She goes bang bang. Okay.
That didn't come out right.
Again, Pat Bernard in the house.
16
TJ,
hours later.
TJ, you know, last week somebody got excited that they pulled their mic.
oh man.
Okay.
All
So
right,
James,
I just.
All right,
I had
all
to.
right,
I had to
look.
know.
I'm gonna
Yes.
get this back on the rails. James, what do you think is gonna happen the next 5
Katie,
games?
James, does Katie bug you too?
I have no idea. I haven't seen a lot of them.
No, she's not.
I had to ask.
You know she used to.
Yeah. Thank you.
Speaking
Thank
of
you.
Steph Curry, she used to do the Warriors game.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's where we got her from.
So James, where do you think this team's at for the next 5 games?
Yeah, James.
They have to.
Went off the rails. My
I'm
fault.
not sure what this team is going to be like, so I got to
no
go.
identity.
So I got to say probably go 500. Like
For the next 5.
the next 5, just go 500.
Crickets.
I'll jump right in, Joe.
Oh God.
I'm with TK. I'm staying with my 8, but I like this home stand. I'm greedy. We're gonna go 5-0. Start tonight.
Ooh.
Joe, to answer your
I would
original
like to go
question,
5-0.
4-1.
to answer
Forward
your
one.
original
Forward one.
question, 3-2 or 4-1 is what I need to see. I don't need 5-0. I would love it, but I don't need to see that. And if I could see Joel Embiid re-engage, I don't care if they go 2-3 on this homestand. If I see Embiid come back to his normal self,
But the
I find-
re-engagement will the winning will
Yeah.
help the
Yes.
re-engagement
Yep.
because
Right.
it'll
That's
help
true.
everything.
This Sixer stuff's got to stop. Come on, let's go.
all right. And
Oh.
as a gift, we will set aside a little time for Phillies because you can't not talk about an
they-
entire season where they
And we are only facing the Commanders,
where,
so
they,
we're
where,
not.
where they went to the World Series, right? And I
Lance
you
went-
gotta say it right, Joey.
I could cut out.
You got to
half-
say it right. Why said Commanders?
I can no, you don't have to say it right. How fun was this ride? This whole Phillies ride.
Oh, we're on the Phil stream.
Yeah, I'll we'll get into some Phils here.
Yeah, the guy that said they weren't making the playoffs.
They didn't deserve to be there as far as I'm concerned. But that's fine.
They made the World Series. They
Doesn't-
most
it-
certainly
Yeah,
deserve to
no,
be
they
there.
did not.
Dave? Say it again?
And I'll prove my point.
Go ahead. I'm
Hold
just
on,
gonna,
Dave, Dave.
time's yours.
Time's mine.
All right, guys. Some sound bites are louder than others.
Someone passed the
Dave,
kidney
Dave.
stone in here.
Yeah, did I hear you say it?
Yes, you did.
They
You
didn't
were-
deserve to be in the playoffs?
Nope.
Oh, I'm a
Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
God.
If the DH was never in the National League, would they be there?
I'll let you borrow my plate.
If
Go
the
ahead.
DH was never in the National League, would the Phillies be there right now?
well.
Who what?
If the DH was not inserted into
So
the
what?
National
The
League,
rules change all the
If
time.
I'm
played
just
the-
saying. Okay,
If
they-
I played the Powerball the other day, would I
Yeah,
have
we
won it?
just
I
all
don't
get
know.
along.
no,
I didn't play the Powerball.
Okay.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my
Thank
uncle.
you.
that is true.
Dave, in all fairness.
Can I finish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I finish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so like I said, if the DH wasn't in the National League, they wouldn't have been there. True.
But didn't the entire
Okay.
National League have the DH?
I'm just saying they just added it this year.
I know. So
Okay, so
And I'll
okay.
tell you,
it didn't benefit,
and-
other
Dave, I'll
teams
throw you
too.
another bone.
And my
Hold
third
on,
point.
They added another wild playoff. Wild
Okay,
card
and,
playoff
let
game,
him
too.
play.
and my second point is if they didn't add the third wild card spot, would they be there? Okay,
No,
so
no, that's proof. They would not have.
okay, okay,
I've gone on record about that.
okay.
That's true.
So that's two.
Dave, can I get?
But-
can I
Because
comment on
But
think
something?
about it.
how do you say they
But
don't
those
deserve to
things
be there
happen.
when the major league changes the rules?
I get
But
it,
those
but I'm
things
saying if they
happen.
didn't change the
Well, if they,
rules,
But
if
hang
they
on,
did, they
Dave.
wouldn't be there. But since
No.
in the rule change,
don't get me wrong.
that
But
last
Dave, the
month-
rule,
okay, and
the
third of all-
rules happen,
Okay, I get it.
and there's going to be changes next year. So you're going to complain next year that
Braves,
there's changes in the rules next year.
Braves, Mets, and Cardinals all have.
Oh,
you are a Phillies
no,
fan.
no,
right?
I am. But here's the thing.
No. The investigation's still
No,
ongoing.
I am. But
The
here's the thing.
investigation is still ongoing.
Can I finish? You Philly fans over here. I love the Phillies. Don't get me wrong. I do.
No, we're checking you
but-
for
but-
blue and
but
orange.
my point
It's
being
not
is,
even Sunday.
my point being is Braves, Mets,
Woo.
Cardinals all had over 90 some wins. The Phillies at 87. Come on, guys. Really?
Hold on. Hold on.
And they beat the Braves.
They
in the
fired. They
series.
fired their manager in July. Okay. They turned this around on Thompson. Okay. Come on, Joey. Let's go. Let's go.
You're a wrestling
Let's
fan.
go.
You're a wrestling fan, right? What's the old adage? To be the man, you have to
Oh,
beat the man. They beat the world freaking champs.
Ric Flair is 75 years old. Come on,
But they beat the same in the NL.
They beat the Braves.
They beat the Braves.
So you were talking about how
They
they
beat
had
the-
90 plus wins. But they
beat them.
but they didn't deserve to be there.
But that doesn't matter. They're there.
Okay, they beat the Braves. They beat the Cardinals. They beat
Dave,
the
Dave, let me ask
Padres.
you a question.
Okay, and plus, the last thing I'm going to say,
And they were up 2-1 on Houston.
I get
Their
it.
bats just went cold at the
Bats
wrong
went
time.
right. They did. Okay, so here's the
Dave.
deal: the Padres manager. Okay, you, Mr. Home Run Harper,
Are you,
all over the place.
I
I get it. You walk them, dude. You walk them.
Hold up.
You don't. You have JT on first. You put
No,
no.
Finding
You put-
every
You put
excuse.
Harper on first base.
This is why I'm.
You
saying
put
the
Harper on first
investigation's
base.
ongoing.
You walk him. You bring in Hart. You
Investigation.
bring in Harden.
It's ongoing.
Different series.
Dave, and so first of all, let me just say this. I was a couple things with baseball that always raised an eyebrow with me was that none of the fields are the dimensions are equal. That's one of the things with baseball that always. But then for years and years and years, I never understood, and then it came to fruition when the World Series hit was why the AL had the DH and the NL didn't, and so finally they evened the playing field, if
Right.
you will.
After
right?
all these years,
So
it
does-
finally took him to do it.
so no matter what,
No one's denying the
the
NMLB
Phillies
is a little
were not
stupid.
the only team in the National League to be able to use a DH.
to benefit from that.
It
yeah.
just
I
so
understand that.
happened
I get
that
it.
their top player was injured
Correct.
and they had to DH him. I will counter with this. I would say if he was able to be in the field, they had other guys that come in and play that position. Hall perhaps may have been a guy. I don't know. We'll never know. Again, I didn't play the lottery, but if I did, perhaps I would have won. I still don't know. So when you say if this and that, the other thing is they put in another playoff. They did it for the benefit of the game. That was one of the best World Series in years.
Absolutely.
One of the best.
MLB won that. They
So-
won that.
So the whole point now, I will say this, and again, other teams, the Astros had to play. By the way, the Astros were undefeated until they played the Phillies.
Correct.
Okay, the Astros beat one of the top organizations in sports.
They swept them.
In sports,
I
okay?
get it.
So that's a really good team
Right.
the Phillies faced. And did the Phillies lose to a great team? Yes, they did. The Phillies have a chance? Yes, they did. But to say that they did not belong
or didn't
to say
deserve
they
to
didn't
be
deserve there. So then let me ask you this, Dave. Why should you play the season? Why should you play the season?
That's a great question. I mean,
because you play the season to get into the playoffs.
Hey, Dave,
right?
if the NFL changes rules and it benefits the Cowboys, gets them into the playoffs, and they win a Super Bowl, would you have the same outlook on it?
I can't answer that. I think I would. Because I'm gonna put it this way: if my team doesn't deserve to be there, then what? No. I mean, if my softball team doesn't make the playoffs, we don't deserve to be there.
Yeah, but your Cowboys made the playoffs last year,
And
and they didn't deserve to be there. But here's my point, Dave. For a team that you say, I'm going to put this to bed.
You're to the Eagles.
No, I understand.
Thank you.
I didn't say that.
We won the division. How can you not say that? We won the division. How can you?
Well, in a division that was what? Full of like
still
mediocre. Anyhow.
And you were the last playoff spot.
Anyhow.
Just like the Phillies were this year.
What I'm getting at, and I'm going to put this to bed.
Put it to bed, Joey.
I'm going to put it to bed.
Put it to bed.
You say we didn't deserve to be there.
No.
But we won games without our MVP. We won crucial series to stay in the hunt without our MVP, without Gene Segura. You sit here and tell me
you won 87 games, Joey. 87 games.
Without Wheeler, Joey, and without Wheeler.
I'm getting to that. And 87 games. You can keep harping on that all you want, but you know what the difference is?
What?
When the playoffs start, every team starts at 0-0. So it makes no difference how you punch your ticket. No, you punch your ticket.
They were a 6-card wild card spot, Joey. A 6-card wild spot. They didn't deserve it.
You know who was the division winner? Who was the division winner?
The Braves won the division.
Okay. And who did we beat? And
then we beat
who was ahead?
And then we beat the team that beat the second place.
And who was ahead? Who you're still being investigated that you're wearing their colors? Who was eliminated weekend 1 of the playoffs? That was quote unquote a better team than the Phillies, the Mets. Guess what? It doesn't matter how you punch your ticket. It matters what you do once your ticket's punched.
Would they punched their ticket if they didn't have the 6 wild card spot? Answer that, genius.
But they were new rules. They were the new rules.
So is the zombie runner, and I hated that.
Yeah, you couldn't stand that either.
Dave, let me ask you a question. Had they won?
But I didn't say.
Had they won 90 games? Would that have been a little bit better?
Hey, 95 maybe.
No.
110.
140. Let's not do this.
162 and 0.
Years ago, this team won over 100 games.
When does the madness end?
I mean, look, Dave sits here and goes, "Well, they made a rule change, and that benefited the Phillies."
And it did.
But as a Philly, if you are a Phillies fan,
tell me I'm
if
wrong.
you are wearing red pinstripes and you're a Phillies fan, why does that matter? Why does that matter?
It does matter, Joey.
No, but if you're a Phillies fan, why does that matter? Your team's in the playoffs. You should be happy.
Because my team didn't. Because I'm being an honest Phillies fan, saying that my team didn't deserve to be in the playoffs.
Dave, I don't know if that's an honest Phillies fan. I think.
Joey, let's put it this way: back in September, that place was quiet as all can get. Citizens Bank Park.
Well, they weren't giving you much to cheer for.
Right, exactly. Right? You could hear a pin drop in that place when I was against the Reds that game I was at today. Now all of a sudden, this team gets so far. Oh, now it's packed.
And in October, you couldn't hear yourself speak.
What kind of fan is that, Joey?
Well, how many games did you go to this year?
Yo, Jerry's World's never sold out. Jerry's World's never sold out.
Unless it was a WrestleMania.
Unless they're playing the Eagles
or
and
a
all
Super
our
Bowl,
fans
or a Super Bowl, or a Super Bowl.
They haven't done that in a while.
I'm done.
Wow, Dave.
I love the.
I love the Phillies. I love them to death. They are my team.
You're not showing
They're
it.
always my team.
You're not showing
but I'm being honest about it, Joey.
How are you being honest?
Because,
how are you being honest?
Because my team didn't deserve to be where they were. That's what I'm being honest about.
But why do you?
If they won 95 games and they won the division, I'd be all over it. They weren't. They were a 6-card wild card spot. That's my point.
But MLB did that, and leagues change.
Okay.
Evolution is part of humanity.
If they won
that is what happens.
I'd be all over it, Joey. All over it.
Matty B writes Fire Howie.
Fire Howie.
Thank you, Matty B. I needed that one right there to break up the monotony.
I was with Matty B back in day 1 with his Phillies podcast, Phillies final.
And I was with him the
no.
Zero.
I started with Matty B. I was
right, and I was with him throughout the World Series. Where were you?
So did you enjoy the playoff run?
I did.
It doesn't sound
but he didn't show up.
Every
my point being is
you picked against him every series.
I couldn't.
Yeah,
You picked against it before they got to a series.
How much did you win at FanDuel?
I didn't know.
Oh, I'm just checking.
I did.
I'm not a
Go
gambler. You know, I
Flyers.
don't gamble.
Yeah,
Schwarber
I
made
don't-
me a
I'm
lot
not
of
big-
money.
I'm not a big gambler.
I'm not a
either.
gambler.
No, I thought you might have bet against it.
Schwarber made me a lot of
no,
money.
no, being
I would never
facetious.
bet against my
No,
team.
listen, man. Listen, and
I owe Maddie
and-
some
and-
money,
and I've
too.
never seen you like
This
this.
team did not have a closer this year. Okay, they did not have a closer. End of story. They didn't. Who was a closer?
No. I don't
None
think.
of them do.
Eflin?
I don't listen. I don't think anyone.
Dominguez?
I don't think anyone else up here is saying that they were better than the Astros. But I think what we are saying is that they fought hard and considering their start, they were 22 and 29.
22 and 29 when they fired Girardi.
When
Dave.
they fired Girardi, they lose Harper for a month.
Okay.
They lose Gene for a month. They lose Wheeler for a bit.
No,
of
they
time.
lost Harper for 2 months.
Right. They lose, and to fight and to do what they did, and to say they didn't deserve it. Listen, man, they only listen. Dave, bottom line, they only play by the rules. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
And because they play by the rules, and the rules allow them to get in, they had every right to be there just as much as the Astros.
Dave, did the '93 Phillies deserve to be there?
That was his team. That was a special team.
No, answer the question.
This
No.
team wasn't a special team.
Hang on. Answer the question. No.
The 93 Phillies? Yeah, they did.
But this team didn't.
Okay. Okay.
No.
You know what team the '93 Phillies
I
beat
give
to
up.
get into the World Series?
Go ahead, Tom.
Braves.
You know what? They had one of the greatest pitching staffs in the history of Major League Baseball.
Maddox,
Yep.
Lavin. Yes, they did.
So
Lights out
smokes.
pitching.
yeah,
Lights out.
Smokes.
There's a reason why they won. 4 division titles in a row?
Phillies had a closer back then too.
Tug McGraw.
let's get
No,
back to the
Mitch
Eagles.
Williams.
Mitch Williams. I'm sorry.
Mitch
I'm
Williams.
thinking earlier.
Wrong,
Yeah.
wrong
error.
Wrong error.
Phillies had a good season. Hopefully, they give a good offseason.
Hey,
Look,
if
they're-
you- if,
they're-
you guys are happy with
They
87
made
wins,
the best of their opportunity.
if
I'm
you're
ha-
happy
I'm-
with 87 wins, it's fine.
I'm
I'm happy with the
excited
trip to the
for
World Series. They made the best of their opportunity.
Dude,
You're
I was-
hard. You're
I
the
gotta,
one.
I gotta go with Joey. It doesn't matter how your tickets punch. It matters when you
Yeah.
get inside, what you do. And
yeah,
he
they
said,
play by the rules.
We've been
And-
bitching about the
but
Sixers
I-
getting
look,
past the second
I'm not,
round.
I'm not going to dismiss what Dave is saying. He's being real, and
Right.
he's saying
I don't think
from-
Joey was either.
no. I don't think Joey was either. I'm just saying I don't want Dave to think that I'm dismissing what you're saying. I
No, neither am
understand
I.
where you're coming from. I do. I just once they're in, I personally feel you get the
Everything's-
most enjoyment out of
when
it.
you're
but
in,
just
anything can
enjoying the
happen. I
ride.
understand
Yeah.
that.
And anything
I
did.
get
and
it.
almost the
But
ultimate.
my point being is they didn't deserve to
No,
be
hey,
there.
did the 07 Phillies deserve to get in the playoffs? And they lost to was the Brewers the first round?
No, it
No,
was
it was
Colorado.
That was Colorado.
It's
Colorado.
Colorado.
They lost
Yeah,
to
Colorado.
Colorado.
Saying they don't. That's
So-
Yeah,
that's
but that team was on the rise.
Oh, and this team wasn't.
No.
Dave, I will.
Middleton.
I
No,
will-
hold. They didn't go get.
Did they make the
we gotta go to the.
Did they make the
play?
play? No. Did they make the playoffs last year? No. They didn't.
Before they got Schwarber and Castellanos
You
to
don't have,
help put them
you don't have a
over.
leadoff hitter. I'm sorry, you don't. You have to.
and Marsh.
Rollins was your leadoff hitter.
This year's leadoff hitter gave me 46 home runs.
Yeah, this year
And
and
won-
batted 210
and won
batted
and won a
210
Silver Slugger Award.
and
But-
batted
but-
212. Come on, dude.
So you so
All right, I
so
think it's time.
in order
He
for
had 52 home runs. I get it, but he was batting
I'm about
212.
52 home runs, 46.
but so it's like everything has to be perfect across the board in order for it to be them to be worthy of it. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Middleton didn't put that
Can't
money
even
out
say
there.
that about the Eagles.
The
Super
first
Bowl
time
win.
they ever went over
Yeah.
salary cap.
Yeah,
But
he
Tom-
didn't put that money out for them not to make the playoffs. That's why they fired Girardi.
to
'Cause they-
segue
'cause
to
they knew they had
segue
the pieces.
to segue into the Birds. You can't even say
minute.
that about the Super
Let's go
Bowl
back-
win.
let's
Like
go-
nothing
wait a
was
minute. Let's go
perfect
back
about
to-
that team.
Let's go back to July. Did you guys really think that they were going to go to the World Series
No
when they
one
fired
did.
Girardi?
No
Frank
No one did.
Frank did.
Frank was the only
Frank
one.
Frank gave you a blueprint of how they could.
Frank was the only one.
Frank gave you a blueprint.
You guys
of how
had
they
these guys
could.
dead in the water back in July, and now all of a sudden we get to October, and they're the best team since sliced bread.
Hold
Well,
on.
because they made it to October, Dave, and November. I mean, your expectations changed too.
Look,
Yo,
I'm
So let me ask you this.
I
So, but
respect
see-
the shit out of it, Dave. You're dying on that hill, man.
So because
I respect.
so
I
because-
respect
I'm dying.
it, but
so because they were
I-
22 and 9, they had no room to improve. I'm being honest. I'm trying to figure you just trying to
They
get.
did what they could to do what they had to do.
So
I get it, but
so once they did improve, that wasn't enough.
everybody jumped on that wagon when they improved. Where were they? Where was everybody 22 and 29? That's my question. Where? Why?
They
Where-
we were all still
I was,
there.
on,
Dave,
I
we
was
were
on that
still-
train.
we were
we-
still
we were
talking
still
Phillies
there.
on this
We were
show.
still, and then it
hold
comes
up. You were on that train saying they weren't going to make
When they
the
were
playoffs.
22 and 29, I was still with them.
But you were still saying they're not going to make the playoffs. That's not with them.
That was back in July. Of course, I said that.
You just
Right, but that's not with
I-
them. That's not
but I-
supporting
I
the
was with them
team.
the
yeah,
whole
but
time.
you just posed that same
I
question
was
to
still.
us.
I was with them. But
You were with them half on and half off.
there you go.
You were
Well,
one
no,
foot
I mean,
on, one
look,
foot
look,
off.
you can be with a team and believe they don't have
No, I
things
agree.
together enough to make the
I
playoffs.
agree.
I
No,
get that.
But
when the
But if
change comes
he's
about-
completely dismissing them before they even get the train going, I mean, Dame even talked about, and we all agreed, with the Sixers, it's 20 games, and that's a fair point.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fair point. But at 20, with the error that he's talking about, the time span, that 22 and 29, that's way too early in a 162 game season.
and it was June.
Right.
It was July.
I mean July.
June, no,
It was June. It was
no.
June when he got
June 3rd.
It was July.
It was June.
June 3rd.
It
Joe
was June.
Girardi got dismissed.
Yeah. No, it was June.
June 3rd.
Because they went on a run in July. They run like right
Yeah,
after.
they started to run after July 4th. is what it was.
No, they started in June.
They started their run in June.
They went 14 games. Look it up, Dave.
What they do, like
Because
14 and 2?
Girardi won his last
They're
game
over 16.
Yeah, Girardi won his last game, which was against the Angels.
He won 14 out of
Yeah,
16.
and
No,
then
it was
the next-
actually before
14
that.
out of 16, right?
No, Girardi. Didn't they play the Angels? Wasn't that his last game?
Uh,
No, no,
that
I
he
think
managed?
Thompson came in with
With the Angels.
the Angels.
So whatever that game was, Girardi's managed his last game. I know they Phillies won that game.
16 and 9 in June. Matty B checked in.
Thank you, Matt.
Well,
So listen.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
let's.
Like
I love the fire, dude. That was a phenomenal back and forth. It
Yeah, that
really was.
awesome. That was-
Let's
was
let's get
I'm-
over. Let's
I'm
get
done.
over.
I'm done.
Uh,
I'm
uh,
done,
You're
Jason.
good. You're good. Let's get over to the Eagles. And speaking of Eagles, the Eagles Game Day Live crew from the Painted Lines. They do pregame, halftime, and postgame. Check them out on the Edge of Philly Sports Network. Those guys do a great job over there at the Painted Line.
And if you ever want to go to an away game or a home game, check out phillysportstrips.com. There you go.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Joseph. Thank you very much. Philly Sports Trips constantly is just
Killing it.
yes.
Killing it. And I feel bad for Vince because during the Phillies and the
Oh
Eagles,
my God.
that guy's got to be
Dude,
bi-coastal and jet
still, he
lagged.
was still finding ways to get down to like Nashville for
Yeah?
the Flyers.
I
It was
don't know how he
crazy.
did it.
It was crazy. So that Thursday night, real quick, it was
Guy needs
so,
a jet.
So, you guys now listen to Ike, Merle and Mike, and then Tom McCarthy and those guys.
Yep.
Not Tom. Well, let me see. L.A. and Fransky got
Fransky.
moved to 103.9. I had to find them.
Yeah.
And then Michael Barkan had to do the Phillies, and then they had Amy Fadul doing the Eagles post.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. Like everybody got, and oh, by the way, the Flyers were playing that night.
Yeah.
Everybody got shifted around. It was crazy.
And
man.
just because we're not talking the Flyers today doesn't mean everybody's
Oh, no.
not watching and paying
Oh,
attention.
no.
You know,
We're
it's
paying attention.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Al was doing the Flyers. So that's
Yeah. But it was just
Al Morgani's show. Shout out to Al Morgani.
Yes.
This
Mr.
weekend, going into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yes.
On
Congrats,
the
Alphonse.
yeah,
Congrats, Al. Well deserved, dude.
absolutely.
Well deserved.
I listen to Al every morning. You know,
Yeah.
and
he's not going with the next crew, right? He's
And
leaving he's
I
leaving
listen to the Overtop show. with
I
him.
think he's just going to float around.
I like
I
the
love
Overtop.
the
I
I love
love
the
the
sure.
Overtop
I
show.
think
I listen to the Overtop.
As a little scheduling note, check out Clearing the Ice after every Flyers game with Matty B.
Yes.
nice.
He
Nice.
does a good job. He's just coming off of his war-torn season with 180 games with the Phillies.
You know what?
Matt, hold on, and that's another thing. What we do here, as people watch, they're like, oh, the guys are just sitting around talking sports. There's research, there's thought,
Yep.
and thoughtfulness that goes into doing these shows. Matty B did 180
2 games.
80.
80. Sorry.
Phillies post
That's
games. Think about that.
That's a lot.
180.
In 7 months.
And I was a part of. I was part of.
Yes,
some of them.
yes. You
Joey
guys
was
were.
a part of them.
Yep.
Gobbler was
Um,
on there too.
I just started a new job. I was busy with
Even-
work and stuff like that. I would like to have jumped on, but when they started going on their run, I didn't want to mess up the juju. I hadn't been on all year.
Yeah.
I would like to jump on next year.
With you.
Matty B, regardless of your view of Howie Roseman, which we have fun back and forth, you have my utmost respect. That's monstrous.
And by the way, Matty B might be on the Pattison Ave Phanatics in 2 weeks.
And
Really?
thank you for your service to Veterans Day.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Thank you also for that.
Yes.
Not to be on the PA show.
He might, because he might have to do a little bit of an announcement. So we'll have to see. We're,
All right.
we're working
No, I
on
know
that.
that's
Oh, okay.
Ah,
I
all
see
right.
what you did there.
Now, for the last, 20 minutes or so, half hour.
Yeah.
Let's get into your franchise record start 2022-23 Philadelphia Eagles.
8-0.
Who deserve to be where they're at, mind you.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, you
not
got
get
any
into that.
qualms
Unless
about
somebody
that?
brings up the
Dave?
schedule.
I'm,
Got any
no,
qualms
the
about
schedule?
that?
no, I'm good.
The schedule's
Okay.
You
not
can
good
only
enough for
play
you.
You
who's
can
in
only play
front of
in
you.
front of you. I
You
get
can
it.
only play who's in front of you.
Maybe they don't deserve to be on the field.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
It's funny. No, go
So,
Why
ahead.
you
so
gotta
no,
do
let's
that?
let's be honest. At the
Come
start
on.
of this season, did anybody see this Eagles team having the best start in franchise history? No, I don't think any of us could have seen that coming.
I'm gonna say it out of a limb. This might be the best team, better than the Super Bowl team.
You
bar none.
think?
I think
so
this.
it
I
is.
think this
So-
team.
However, I
Wow.
think James had the highest win total out of the whole crew
Yep.
He did?
at 13.
15-2.
No, you had 13. Oh, 15 too? Oh, I thought it was
You have it 15-2.
So
Yep.
you're looking like a friggin' genius. right now.
No,
Not,
What
a,
did
not
you
a
know?
7
derogatory
more games
genius
starting
that
on
David
Monday.
called Joey, but an actual genius.
No.
7 more games starting
yeah,
on
I
Monday to
appreciate
his
that.
record.
well, I appreciate
You got
that.
them at
But
15-2. What do you have them losing to?
well, there are probably two games that are probably like garbage, like ones like
Could be
like,
garbage.
That's
At
not
this
gonna change,
point,
by the way.
it
Could
could
be
be
like-
garbage
I'll tell you,
time
I'll talk
losses.
about it.
So going 17-0 isn't what you were looking at? I mean, isn't
I mean,
Oh,
I never
Jesus.
expected the team to be
isn't
undefeated,
that the goal?
but I mean, this team. I mean,
No, I'm not saying they're going
no,
to. I'm
no,
just
I,
saying.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, I look at this team and I feel like this team has a lot more juice than they had back in 2017 because they had the players that they got in for only just a 1-year rental.
2017 was an anomaly, and we know that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Because with all the, and it's not that the team wasn't good, but with the injury sustained to that team, when
That's
your
the one
starting
thing-
quarterback, your starting left tackle,
Yep.
your general
That's
on
what
the
it makes
defensive
it
side
high.
of the ball, and Jordan Hicks goes down, your kicker goes down.
That's why I said nothing was perfect.
No,
that's
Nothing
why,
was far
and
from
that's
perfect.
the thing that I took out of it that was iconic too, because like you lost a lot of players
Yeah,
and
a
you
lot.
still were able to win that Lombardi. It's
I think
fascinating.
the thing that really stands. I gotta stick with this. It stood out for me in 2017 was Wentz.
Yeah,
Wentz to me, and I know people feel for obvious reasons feels different about him. For obvious
That's
reasons,
Charmin the Joey.
not the 2017 ones. I still have the affection for that Carson Wentz.
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm
TK.
able to compartmentalize that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like for me, he was the standout. Like his performance, and we talk about Embiid's energy. Everyone captured his energy.
Yes.
The entire team. So even when he went down in that Rams game, the team still that energy still resonated across the board. So for me, that 2017, like he just stood out. Going to this team, the quarterback is standing out for me for a
Yep.
number of reasons. He's
he runs.
checked off. He's actually running less.
Okay.
And Carson did run too.
He's
But-
still on pace to break his own record.
But
Touchdowns, rushing
he's checking off the boxes as far as getting the ball out,
Every question that we had last year,
Yes, sir.
he's game by game checking boxes.
checks in the boxes, and,
Yep.
and so and then you see the other players, play off of that. And someone said this best. I don't know if it was Joey or someone heard someone say, "We got to see this team TK play 4 quarters." Like 4 solid quarters.
know.
We've
It
seen
is
it. We've seen
amazing.
sport. We've seen a good first, good third, maybe a good fourth, maybe not so much. You know what I mean, but it's like I want to see a good, and it's coming.
Usually,
It's coming.
Isn't the second quarter usually what they normally do?
Yeah.
Isn't that
They-
their,
they lead the league
Isn't
in
that their
sec-
quarter?
Yeah.
They lead the league in second quarter.
Like
points.
third quarter,
Yeah.
like third
45
quarter is like
points. I think.
like
this
third
year.
quarter
I
they
was-
die, and then the fourth quarter they wake up.
It's like over 100.
I was thinking,
40 points.
I was
that what it
thinking
is?
about
Yeah,
this
something
the
like
other
that.
night. I
Yeah.
was thinking about this team the other night, and I believe that this team is the closest team I've ever seen to being as good on the field as they are on paper.
Yep.
We always say, well, they're good on paper, but you got to see this team. Everybody who saw everything that Howie Roseman, Matt, added, everything that Howie added, the moves that were made in the offseason, the drafting, you're looking at it on paper like, this team looks phenomenal on paper. Well, this is the closest I've ever seen to a team matching how I felt about them on paper before the season started. But I did not envision them after the first 9 weeks being 8-0, the only undefeated team in football, starting with the best franchise record in Eagles history. They look they don't look unstoppable. That's the thing. But they look like they learn, and they're taking they're taking cues from their quarterback, who is never too high, never too low. After a win, we're gonna take this win. Yeah, that's great, but we left shit out there. We left stuff out there on the field. We're going to come in Tuesday or whatever day they come in, and we're going to work on these things, and we're going to try and get better. And we're going to try and give you 4 quarters of what we give you in the first or the second or the third or the fourth. I loved Carson's attitude because he was very businesslike, and this kid blows him out of the water. As far as his focus is like nothing I've ever seen in an Eagles quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I think the one thing I liked about it too, with this team, is really like going back to that 2017 team. Like I said, is that this team is young and they have a lot of young guys that are going to be around for looking to try to stay around for maybe 5 or 6
They have
years.
a really good blend of veterans and young guys.
How long is Davis out?
And the one thing I could
How
say,
long is Davis out?
3 more weeks.
A couple
4
more
weeks.
weeks, 2 or 3, right?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Is it three?
It was just a month higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
and-
asking.
I think he
He'll be back
comes.
in
I
time.
think he comes
I'm
back to
sure.
game with Derrick Henry. They play Derrick Henry.
I'm just
Good.
wondering.
that would be
That
excellent.
would
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah,
That's my new trap game, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's
my trap game's a second Giants game.
Second guys.
Mine's was the Colts,
Mine's is the Green Bay
but it
Packers.
changed. It
Yeah.
changed. It just changed.
I
Green
think
Bay?
that might be a trap
Yeah.
game too.
Why Green Bay?
Now you think about it, Dame. I think
What
that might be a
everybody's
trap
like,
game for
"Yay,
me.
Jeff Saturday."
Joey, Green Bay's phone. What's
Yeah.
up with them?
They
What's
still
going on?
have that bad man.
Oh, I
If
get
Jeff
it.
Saturday was from Delco, it'd be
Wait a minute,
Saturday.
That bad man who threw 3
Just
picks against the
Saturday.
Lions last weekend?
You see it next
Wow.
week too. You see it next week,
Look,
too.
Aaron just knows
I
when
know.
to flip a switch,
I know it does.
and that always terrifies me.
Okay.
And
Well,
if
that's
you
what-
if
the
he
boys
flip,
got him tomorrow.
I'm not worried about the Cowboys. They don't even deserve to be in. second
No,
place.
right,
exactly.
right. Okay,
but
okay.
the thing is with
6
Rodgers,
and 2 is not bad.
when he flips that switch,
Right.
what concern is when he chooses to do it.
Will it be too late?
Will it? Well, but when it happens, it will be the week that they face the
Oh,
Eagles. Like,
fuck. Yeah, right.
I don't want that to happen. Let him not. Let him figure it out the week after.
Week after, right?
But-
you also got to keep an eye on the Niners.
I mean,
too.
are you guys shocked
Yeah.
that he threw 3 picks against the Lions last weekend?
No, because he's all over the place right now.
Yeah.
He's just
He's not focused.
Yeah,
He-
nothing.
He's the
He's got nobody to throw to.
he's the rebirth of Brett Favre when Brett Favre was towards the end of his career. He
They
was
should have
just-
been moved.
he's
that
the
guy.
gunslinger.
They should have been moved.
so Aaron Rodgers is going to the Vikings next year.
If they can move Kirk Cousins,
If they
yeah,
can move
sure.
Cousins.
If they move Cousins, sure, that'd be an upgrade
Jo-
for the
Joey,
Vikings.
Joey, I was doing my homework a little bit today this morning.
I think the Vikings
And,
are overrated though.
Joey, I was doing my homework this morning. Do you realize there's only 5 teams in the NFC have winning records?
Okay.
And 3 of them are in our
3 of them,
division.
and 3 of them are our division. Is that
Uh-huh.
crazy? Is that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
I'm waiting for the other shoe.
We
to
probably
drop.
don't do.
Well, I guess we don't deserve.
We don't deserve to be
I'm
there.
not saying that. No, you
I
no,
was waiting- I
I'm
was
waiting
waiting
no,
for
no,
it.
no. I'm
I'm
just saying.
waiting
All right,
for
no,
it.
How's it?
my point being is, are you surprised that there's only 5 teams
No.
in the NFC?
Who do the
that-
Cowboys
Look,
play
look at
this
the
week?
look at the
Green Bay.
quarterbacks.
Green Bay.
Look at the quarterbacks for these teams.
Okay.
I think
They're atrocious.
Okay.
They're
Joe,
atrocious.
Joe, I actually this week could be the week where Aaron
Oh.
Rodgers turns it on.
He's turning it on this week.
I'm
Don't
hoping
do
he
that
does.
now.
He's
We
doing
don't
it
want
now.
it
Yeah,
now.
no, turn it on now and then fizzle out by the time.
Oh,
they
all
get
right,
it.
all
Always
right.
beat the Cowboys.
But
Always.
you know,
I mean, okay. So do we count Tampa out being 4 and 5?
no,
Okay.
No, you can't
you
count.
can't
Tom
count
Brady.
a TB.
Nah.
Did you see what he did last week at the end of the
Every
game?
Okay,
single
Oh,
time.
did you see what he did last week at the
I've
end of the
done it.
game?
No, I'm,
Within
I've done it.
seconds,
go with me to
like
this.
25,
I've done it too
50
many
seconds, he went
times.
in.
Every time I've
Do we-
I've
do we-
counted them out.
Do
too.
we count the Niners out of 4 and 4?
No.
No. When they're getting people back too, and with the addition of McCaffrey, man, they're
That's
going to be tough.
filthy.
Do we
And
count
as long as Garoppolo just
Doesn't act like a
game
dumbass.
manages,
Yeah.
they'll be there down the line.
Do we count New Orleans out at 3 and 6?
Yep.
Yes.
Do we count Carolina at 3 and 7?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Considering they don't know who
Think
their
about
head
this,
coach is.
and Kyle Quinn brought this up on Birds IQ Thursday. He said the Eagles have the opportunity when they play New Orleans to beat a team and better their draft pick, their
Yep.
first round draft pick.
Are the
next year.
are the Seahawks for real at 6 and 3?
I
No.
think,
Yeah, they're real.
I think
I like
they
them.
are.
They're real. I like them.
I love their
defense.
defense, but I hate their quarterback.
Oh, nobody
Um,
likes Geno Smith, but
I
he's
think
doing
playing
what
good
he
ball.
needs to do. He's
He's
playing good ball. Isn't he like he's right up there in the top in the
Playing
NFL
good
right
ball.
now?
He's taking care of the ball.
Number 5 quarterback in the
Are,
NFL.
Yeah,
are the
yeah,
are the Rams out? Are the Rams out of it at 3 and 5?
They're not out of it. They're the champs. They don't scare me.
I don't count the Rams out either because
They're the
all
champs.
they could hit a groove and rattle
They
off
did
6
last
wins in a
year.
row.
Yeah, they did last year.
It only relies on one guy that the Rams can take them there. Quarterback, point and simple. Or Aaron Donald.
Can Justin Fields and the Bears make a run at 3-9?
No.
I'll tell you what, though, Fields is looking better and better every game.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point. He's supposed to take this year as a growth.
That kid's confidence is building game by game.
He's going to be good in 2 years.
I've always liked
sure.
him. I just didn't like the way
kinda
the
like
coaches
what
were
Jalen
used.
Hurts
And my
was
last
last
question,
year.
Joey: are the Giants for real at 6-2?
You got to say yeah, don't you?
Yeah,
You gotta
I
say
do. Only because I hate the idea of Danny Dimes being good.
But are they?
But that coach is really
but
good.
are they doing well with Barkley healthy? That's the
Well,
question.
yeah, but I
they
think
run the
it's more
ball.
than that.
Hey, he looks like vintage Saquon.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's more than that. I think their defense is playing well. I think their coach is not acting like a bonehead, and they have look. We've talked about it before. If coaches put good players in the best positions, then you're gonna win.
And as long as their kicker doesn't kick it to any Eagles return man, they should be
So
all right.
is it possible that the NFC East could have 3 teams in the playoffs?
We don't. They don't have that problem this year,
Dame?
Tom. We don't have a good returner.
Is it,
Oh yeah,
Could
that's
happen.
possible.
Is it
It's
possible?
possible.
Yeah,
for
they
it to
wouldn't
happen.
deserve to be there, but it's
Don't
possible.
I think what the Eagles are about to do. I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
take
dog on me on that one.
with the Eagles.
You brought it into
I did.
this.
I did. Just go with
To
me.
your point, yes, 3 teams will make it in, but right now we're about to separate ourselves from the other teams because we're right now playing for home field advantage.
Yeah,
throughout the playoffs.
absolutely.
And
You
a
know,
first round bye.
and speaking of deserving to be, on the same
Clarence
pool.
Shipping knocks down 2 in a row, and the Raiders lead only by 20 with 20 seconds to go. So Serrano making things happen for the Aces, and they trail only by 20.
Dave Yarno,
Dave Yarno for 3.
I
It's funny,
swear to
every-
God, one of these days you're going to make that.
Dude,
shot.
I was just thinking that every time I watch, I swear it's going in.
Nah.
But nah, yeah, Dave. That's
Look, my feeling is with this team.
Does
I would not have seen them going 8-0.
No.
But the thing that worries me, and we just got done talking about this with the Phillies, I worry about this not translating over to the playoffs. Because when you get to the playoffs, it's 0-0.
what makes you worry about it?
I do. I worry
you
about
know-
us feeling it ourselves too
So-
much.
You know what it is? It's the old adage of being an Eagle fan and worrying about. something
Yeah,
that's not
well,
there.
so-
And
that's
creating
never
it.
going to go away.
so Joey, answer me
I'll
a
tell you
question.
quick
Does
story. I'm sorry,
with
Dave.
I'm sorry, without Josh Allen tomorrow, does Minnesota go in and win?
No, I don't think
Without
so, 'cause
Josh
they got-
Allen,
they
he's not
got-
playing
they
tomorrow.
They got Keenum though.
They did. He's out tomorrow.
Yes. Can Minnesota go in there and get
No.
steal one?
Yeah, they
No, I
can.
don't think so.
Okay.
I got Minnesota.
Minnesota steal one
No,
from.
I'm saying
Buffalo.
Minnesota plays Buffalo tomorrow. I'm saying they don't have
In
Josh Allen
Buffalo?
is not playing. Can Minnesota go in and beat them? Is my question.
No.
I think they can.
I think it's I think it's possible.
I think it's
However,
possible. I think it's possible.
That Buffalo
Case
defense is
Case
ridiculous.
Keenum isn't as big a drop off to backup QB
Yeah.
as a lot of other teams have to their
Right.
backup.
And it's not the
And we handled
playoffs.
them
Case
pretty
Keenum
well.
doesn't choke in the regular
Go ahead,
season.
James. Finish your story. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to tell you a quick story about you a little bit skeptical about how the Eagles can play. Just don't say the word, don't jinx it, because there was this one fan at the championship game when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl the other year. He's like saying, "Don't jinx anything, don't jinx anything." And me and my dad were like, "Jinx what? We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. Enjoy it, dude." Jesus.
Yeah, we're not,
like
No,
when
I
the
was
Phillies get into the playoffs, just enjoy it.
I
Right.
enjoy it.
Um,
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Dave.
know. Last thing, guys. Does Odell come to Dallas?
Does he come to
Nah.
Philly?
I
You
wish.
better hope
Does
not.
he, does, he,
I
does, he,
wish.
does he come to
I'm
Philly?
sorry to say that.
No, he won't come to Philly. I don't think he's
Don't need him.
We don't need him.
I know we don't need him, but you know Howie.
See,
Nah, he's
No,
he's
I
moved
think-
past him. Yeah,
I keep
think
hearing.
that
I keep
they're
hearing
gonna-
Dallas on Monday. I don't know.
I think,
don't
We'll
know.
see.
So I keep hearing.
Yeah, well, that's a Jerry move, but you already have the inmates
So-
running that asylum, so
That's a total Jerry move.
that is a total Jerry move. I mean, and that is literally like got Jerry's hallmark written
That's a
all
blue.
over
Yeah,
it.
it's a blue.
Nah,
Yeah, but I mean,
you know he's
I don't
gonna
know for
wind up-
sure if he's
he's
going to make it happen.
He's gonna,
but
he's gonna wind up with the
there-
49ers.
There's been a lot of talk with Odell, so I'm
He's
just
gonna
asking.
he's gonna wind up with the 49ers.
Well,
You think?
Well, I
That
wouldn't be
would a big-
surprised about that.
That would be big.
Well, he
for them.
still likes
But
the West Coast.
He definitely will go somewhere where it's warm. I'll tell you that.
But here's where I would even say, could you see Odell land back in a Giants?
See, I thought
uniform?
about that too.
Yeah,
I
thought
did.
about that.
But
I was going to
I
ask
don't-
you.
and that scares
There
me.
has
But-
been
but
rumblings
is
of
there-
that
But
too.
is there bad vibes between him and that organization? Is my question.
No, he had bad vibes with the coach.
Well, I get it,
he
but
didn't like
yeah,
Coughlin.
okay.
He did not like
Um,
Coughlin.
okay, but I'm saying the
It's just a
organization.
headache, man. Just go away.
What, Beckham?
Yeah,
He's a great player,
Yeah.
though.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, but he's a great player.
Great.
I mean, him and Deshaun
yeah,
Jackson, like, who wants to
good.
take,
Yes.
who wants to
Good.
take,
Yeah.
who
Now.
wants to take the
Yeah.
annoying trophy?
Hey, actually, Jackson didn't look bad the other day against.
Look,
with
he
the- with
Then
he's
he got
still
hurt again.
yeah,
he's
with
still
the,
0-2 against the kicking
Ravens.
net.
Sorry, Ravens. Yeah.
Odell's still 0-2 against the kicking
Yeah,
net.
the net's
so.
up 2-0.
Who's
Up
Jackson
2-0.
with an F again?
He's
I think it's
Raven.
Baltimore.
He's a Raven. Yeah.
Yeah, Raven. He
Yep.
didn't last long though.
Yeah.
He got hurt again.
Did he get hurt? No,
Shocker.
I saw him come back in. The game.
Shocker.
Shocker.
No, I saw him come back in.
Yo, can I throw this out there real quick? I watched my first soccer match ever.
Oh,
the
on
Union. Shout out
Saturday.
to the Union.
Was that not the greatest shootout you've ever seen?
I've never watched any kind of soccer really. I mean, like I understand
Outside
the
of World
premise.
Cup. Outside
of World Cup, I understand. Obviously, I understand
that
the premise.
shootout was phenomenal.
That was awesome.
And the funny part was the
I missed that
goalie
game.
for LA.
I know we're talking birds, but
the goalie for LA was actually with the Union.
I think this is the first official time the Union has ever been. Those words have ever been uttered on the Pattison.
he was
Yeah.
he was a
Show.
he was a Union
So
guy.
congratulations, Union, for getting on our radar.
Hey,
And I want to congratulate them on a great year.
they had a great
Yes.
season. They did.
I mean, look.
They didn't deserve to be there, but congratulations.
No,
anyway.
they did deserve that.
So but the Phillies, I'm not.
You know I beat dead horses.
You're beating a dead horse. No, congrats to the Union.
Go ahead, Dave.
Congrats to the Union.
All right, back
so
to the birds.
When we look at the birds, like I'm thinking about what Joey's saying. So on last week's show when we were streaming, and I heard some things that John Marks has said about wanting the Eagles to lose, and a couple other people talked about that. It's not that I want the Eagles to lose, and I want them to win every game. What makes I just never felt comfortable going to the playoffs undefeated in football.
Just tasting the losses, didn't you?
Well, it's just something that it's just a weird, and I'm not superstitious. I'm really not a superstitious person, but I just something about that. But if it happens, hey man, if they go in undefeated, they just go in undefeated. I have to accept it. But I just at this point, I definitely want them to secure a home field advantage,
Well,
and that's a priority,
At
right?
this point, it looks like they're going to.
They
Well-
secure that because then when they play the Cowboys, that game, I want that game to be
Minnesota or somebody.
I want that game to be. Well, we already beat Minnesota.
Well, I'm saying, but you might see him again in the playoffs.
Well, that's why
But I want the Cowboys game to be meaningless.
Okay.
I really want that to be like a meaning, like whatever.
I think it could be because I think you're about 4 to 5 weeks away from if you stay undefeated and other teams in the NFC continue to kind of
Cowboys and Giants are playing what, 2 weeks?
So.
that's going to eventually give a
so
loss to
somebody's
somebody.
getting another
Yeah.
loss
So-
or a tie.
Well,
Right.
Dallas beat them the first time. So.
But in 4 or 5 weeks,
Dallas gave them
you
the
could
first
be
loss.
looking at locking up home field,
That's what I want.
and at that point, you got to start it, and we'll pose it then.
And then you have to balance out rust versus
rest,
Right.
Like
Sirianni's a type that's not going to rest anybody.
Guys, can I make a shout out to my son Hunter? His soccer team won the championship last week.
Nice.
Oh, Hunter,
Sweet.
congratulations.
Nice.
They
If it was
did.
on TV, Hunter, I would have watched it.
Yeah.
at least
They-
one Philly
they-
team brought home a
Congratulations.
chip.
They won all 4 games, and he had 2 goals in game 2 alone.
Nice.
And
Sweet.
it was
Sweet.
Little
very
Pele.
it was very unexpected. We didn't see it coming. but
Congratulations,
What
Hunter.
position
And
is
you
that?
guys deserved to be
Deserved
there.
to, they won all 4 games. They did.
That's what's up, man.
No, they got
What age range is it?
who's 5 to 9.
Nice.
Yo,
Nice.
Dave, what was the season record?
I don't even know.
Joe, don't start, Joe.
I didn't go that
Where's
far.
no-
I didn't even
Thanks,
look.
it worked,
Is it,
Joe.
is it
Good work,
improved
Joe.
now?
All I know,
Were they on
Well-
wild seed the last season?
well, I would say they were in the middle of the pack.
They didn't change
But-
roles for this
No.
season.
Nah, they didn't.
No, what they did was they had it. They did it by
Dave's playing it off really well.
Did they let all the teams
They-
into
no,
the playoffs?
Yeah, everybody made it.
Okay, there.
But here's the thing. They did it by they did it
Oh,
by,
my good, my
they
friend.
did it by countries, and it was Netherlands who was Hunter's team versus USA in the finals. And they,
Wow.
and they won 3-2. That was the final score.
Nice.
Very
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go around and give our predictions for Monday night's blowout against the Commanders.
I like it, Joey.
Blowout?
All
I
right.
don't know about that.
Oh, why not?
Taylor Heineke is going to
Hey,
be your
Taylor-
starting.
Taylor's not bad.
The only thing I worry about is Chase Young coming back.
That's a big-
That's the
that's-
only
That-
thing
that
I
don't
worry
scare-
about.
That
That's-
don't
that-
scare me.
Okay, so answer
That's
this
a big
for me.
part of their.
Mailata had a hard game on Thursday.
He's a
So
I get
is
that.
Mailata
But
having
it's
struggling
always
this
a-
year?
like, was it-
Is Mailata struggling this year?
Oh,
I know he
no,
came off
last
an
game.
injury.
Last game.
By the
last
way,
game.
guys, Maddox is out tomorrow.
That's fine. Is he?
Well, the whole team's out tomorrow. 'cause they're
That
playing
kid we
tomorrow.
got from the Saints is
and,
crazy.
And that kid, Josh Joby, he's on hamstring too.
The kid, yeah,
Who?
but the kid,
Josh Joby.
Maddox is
I
back there.
think
The kid we got-
James said it best. Who?
And
but,
Landon Dickerson is light practice as of yesterday.
but the kid that we got from the Saints,
homework.
safety, what's his name?
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Say that
The
again.
kid that we got from the
CJ Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, CJ
Dude,
Gardner
he was
Johnson.
5 picks.
Yeah,
crazy.
leads the league.
Yeah, man.
Leads the league.
This is
Team leads the league in
What-
takeaways.
by the way, what's up with
And I'm still not giving. I'm still not giving
your
him.
boy? Who's your cornerback in Dallas?
My cornerback.
Your cornerback.
Diggs?
Tavon
Trayvon
Diggs.
Diggs.
Trayvon
How many
Diggs.
picks does he have this year?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, people caught up to him.
Yeah. Well.
He'll have 3 tomorrow against Iron Rapids.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, you better hope. You better hope.
You better hope.
But
Yeah, okay.
All I know
only
is
thing-
Anthony Barnes.
The closest
Time
thing
out.
to a pissed
Time
off
out.
Tom Brady is
Time
pissed off
Yeah,
Aaron
okay.
Rodgers.
Yeah, okay.
All I know is Anthony Barnes out.
Who do y'all play tomorrow?
Green Bay.
In Green Bay?
Yep.
Well, that's an L.
What time's that game?
4:25.
Oh, that's an L.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't you see the promo all week? It's the century game of all
yeah, I'm
centuries.
watching that.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll
Frozen
give a
tundra.
prediction on that
Yeah.
right now.
Come
Zeke,
on.
Zeke's
Me and
questionable.
Joey
Of course
talking
he
about
is.
it.
All right.
His name. Oh, he has a pad on his name.
Eagles Commanders. We'll get our predictions in before we wrap it up here. Eagles Commanders. Joey wants the
Okay, Casey.
Joey wants a prediction. So where do you want to start, Joe?
Yeah, Joe.
I'll start and wrap it around. So I feel like this is going to be a blowout
Wow.
of epic.
78-17.
No, I don't think that.
31-3.
I don't think they've earned that.
125 to
I don't think they've earned that score.
It's going to
but
be 50-3 at halftime.
it's going to be 35-7 Eagles.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's going to be a
Well,
rout.
can Antonio Davis get the touchdown? Because I have him for fantasy. That'll work.
Who?
I said, can Antonio Davis get the touchdown? 'Cause I have him
Yes.
for
Yeah, it'll be a
fantasy?
Robert Sutton.
Approved.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have
Late
a
in
I have
the
a fantasy. I just not could use him.
Okay.
Late in the fourth.
Way late in the fourth.
Dame?
Yeah.
What do you
So
think?
I'm just curious. Who's Heineke's backup?
The guy that they
Sam
drafted. Yep.
The
Sam
guy
Howell.
in the stands with the pretzels. Hey, you with the pretzels.
Who's
Get in
he's
here.
back?
It's Sherman Wentz's
I
replacement.
didn't. I
That
didn't
was
go that.
George
Hey,
Costanza.
I didn't do my homework that far, man.
No,
It's Sherman Wentz's replacement in the near future.
Oh, so Wentz can't play. He's out, right?
Is he officially injured? I mean,
I don't think Wentz is ever starting another game. in the
He's
NFL.
communicating
I
with
don't think
Frank
he is
Wright to
either.
find out where
as
they
a
can
starting
find.
QB. He could be a backup who comes in for somebody who's injured.
Dude,
but-
that's a show in itself.
Sherman.
What happened to
Sherman.
Wentz and what happened to Ben? Like,
Well,
that's
Sherman.
Ben
crazy.
played the other. Ben looked good.
Sherman and Frank Wright
Yo.
are both
Hey,
looking for a
yeah,
job.
you know what? You know what our town does?
Him and KD were rocking the Knicks the other day. I was watching.
and Scott Rowland and guys like
You
that.
like that? You like that, Dave? Yeah.
Our town filters out the guys who don't have heart. Our town filters them out.
Ben be playing some against the Knicks that day. I
I
was
see. Yeah, I forgot you still.
So,
Yeah.
all right, what's your prediction, Dame?
I'm on the Ben train.
Frank
it's
Wright
a-
and Sherman are looking for a
it's
job, so
division-
that's
it's a division game. 27-7.
Ooh.
I know Washington games are pretty close, so I'm right there with Damon. I think it's gonna be 27-14 Birds.
Yeah. Oh, that's
7-14 Birds. Interesting.
Dave.
Okay.
your heart.
No. Guys, it's a division game, and division games are always close. No matter how you
True
look at it, they're always neck and neck because it's division.
There's been
I
games where
don't-
we've beaten you like
yeah,
45.
I know, but I'm just saying it's a division game. I'm going to say Eagles 27, Commanders 17.
Interesting.
My prediction is Eagles 28, Commanders 5.
Whoa, it's a safety.
They get
Safety and
they get a safety.
and a
Well,
field
a muff snap, and then he lays on the ball. Yeah.
Who's quarterbacking? What's his name then?
Gardner
Taylor-
Minshew. Late in
Minshew.
the game.
Minshew gets the
Late in the
safety.
game.
Late in the game. Oh, Minshew. Did he
5?
sell-
You're
did he-
going to 5?
Yeah.
Did he sell that RV?
Yeah,
yet, by
with
the way?
6 minutes
Yes.
left in the
Did he
fourth,
sell it?
they'll bring
got
in
the
Gardner
mu-
Minshew to run
the
out the clock,
mustache
and he
mobile.
muffs the snap and has to fall on it.
Did
He's
Yo,
calling
big,
it the
you know.
mustache mobile.
he give Carson a ride? in it?
Mustachio
Did he
Bashio.
give Carson a
Hey.
ride? Because Carson's going to need it after he's back at somebody else.
I like
He's
throwing
gonna
a little
lose.
safety into the
Carson
score.
may need it.
I still think it's a
Listen,
division
him and
game.
Frank Wright need a place to go, into a support group or something for exiled people.
Dude, Carson got 2 coaches fired.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Carson
Yep.
got two-
Frank. Oh, Joey. By the way, I went to ask you, what are the chances of
What does that say for Ron Rivera?
Joey, Dame, and James? What are the chances? And TK.
Ron Rivera
and Joe,
got it right out in front of
what-
that and said the problem was the quarterback.
What are the
Yeah.
chances of Frank Reich going back with Doug?
I don't think
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it's
I don't
more
think
likely than Frank Reich coming
go
here.
back with Doug.
Going back
I
with
think
Doug.
Sirianni-
No,
But they asked Sirianni about it
No,
because they work together
with
in the
Doug.
I
in
can see that.
Jacksonville.
I can see that happen.
I can see that happening.
No, I've
More so
heard
than Sirianni.
I've heard the rumor more closer to what Tom's saying because Steichen might get a head coaching job next year. So
Oh yeah, if Steichen gets a head coaching job, then
then Frank will come slide in right into that role.
and I know we about to wrap it up. Let me just say this
But
about
I
Sirianni,
can
man.
see Doug picking up Frank.
And Joey might have touched on this. I don't give me Joe if I'm wrong. Sirianni, man, I don't think it's mentioned enough. TK, the guy gave up the play calling. We know he's involved. We know he's involved in the designs of the plays. We know that. But what he did was, if you go back to last year when he was asking about the defense with Gannon, he said, you know what? I need to take a look at that a little bit more. And I think he was setting us up in a good way to let us know, like, I want to look over everything now, special teams.
Yeah.
But let me go back to that. If Steichen leaves, speaking of which, they said the quarterback coach may move into the offense coordinator position.
We'll see. We'll see.
They say that he may
Because he's
you know how
he's
big.
close with Jalen.
He's
so.
close with Jalen
Yeah.
and how he's big on
Yeah.
keeping it in house. Yeah, keeping the continuity. And,
Right.
and again, this is his second year. This is the first time since he was 16. Jalen Hurts offense 2 years in a row, and you can really see, man, what a guy is. He's smart, man. He's doing what the defense gives him. He takes care of the ball.
Just keep in mind, you can in the Eagles coordinators could be a little thinner because Statler might leave.
Well, and
He might retire.
But if Gannon leaves, then,
Nah, I'm not worried about Gannon leaving.
But no, the other guy, the older guy that he talks to, may come in. I forget his name.
Oh yeah.
Fangio.
Joey, are you
Fangio.
on? Joey, are you
Fangio
on
may
the Gannon? Are you jumping on that Gannon train?
As a consultant, right? So he might just slide him on in.
Okay, I'm just asking.
No,
Listen,
he hasn't heard enough quarterbacks yet.
Okay.
For me to jump on that Gannon train.
I hear you.
I'm just asking.
Hey, before we get out of here, real quick, I just want to mention we have over 20 shows on the network. Monday through Sunday, there's something for everyone every day of the week. Please check out Edge of Philly, edgeofphilly.com. Obviously, we're on Saturday mornings every 9 a.m., but I've watched this network grow. And I've been lucky enough to been a part of several different networks. And they all did great in their own regard. But to watch what the Edge of Philly Sports Network has grown into, I couldn't be more proud. So please, go on, follow on all the social media accounts, follow all the shows. There's something for
Subscribe
everyone
on
here.
YouTube.
Please.
Yep.
Twitter, Facebook.
Yep.
Check us out.
Listen, that's going to do it for us, man. Yeah, Dave, way to bring the fire today, man. For real.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great, man.
and you and Joey going back and forth. I love seeing stuff like this. Guys, it's been great for Joe Marks, for Damon Salim, James Scorza, Dave Yarnell, Frank Finnegan, who will hopefully be back next week. I'm Tom Kelly. This is the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show, and we are out of here.
Go Birds.
Later.
Go Birds. Go Sixers too is right.